let's
Confirm and go live.
watch together rolling.
We are good to go.
We good, Judas?
Yep.
All right. We are starting early tonight, but welcome to session 10 of Sea of Sorrows. I am your DM Gothmogul, and I'm joined by Jeebus the Dingus playing Deckham, Transpace Mariner playing Kyle, and Miser Mark playing Elliot. Last time, they hung around the Abbey some more, getting to learn things, talking to the kids, especially the young Candace, who finally opened up to Elliot. After that, they were led to their rooms, and Deckham decided to go on a wander and talking to a chef, and found a knife that was absolutely terrible and terrifying at the same time. And just before we ended, Elliot got visited by a silver and black spider trying to send him a warning in its webs, stating, "Run, Elliot." And that is where we return to our Tales of Terror.
There we are.
Becca, meanwhile, still in the kitchen.
Yep, I'm sure I put Elliot back in. Wait, I actually stepped out, didn't I? I forgot what I was doing exactly after I swat the spider.
I think that's kind of where it ended.
That was where it ended.
Right. And I do have that mental link to Kyle and Deckham. I'm just gonna step back inside, and hopefully the link is still working. I'll just simply say, Kyle, Deckham, is this thing still working?
I mean, it should be.
Excellent.
It's been about, only like in less than an hour.
I was unsure if you had already returned to sleep and if this thing was going to work or not.
Oh, fantastic. I have found a knife possessed by a devil.
Sorry, what?
But it's not magical.
If you wish, I could probably perform some sort of purifying act, or if you wish, I can smite it. But I was visited by a strange silver-black spider. I think it was a familiar. And it wrote on its web, which looked disturbingly like blood. And it said, "Run, Elliot," before my instincts took over. I swung the sword, and it poofed upon, being smashed by the flat end of the sword. As I look at my blade.
Oh, well, that does sound like a familiar. They don't leave a corpse. And if it was able to communicate with you, it seems like a very specific type.
So the basement still looks horrible, Deckham, from what we can tell.
Oh, I've never actually seen into the basement. I have my inklings that the stairway has some sort of a trap, but I did find a way down. It's a bit cramped for me, though.
I reckon it is for myself as well.
You just feel like the absolute pain coming through the line, like, are we gonna rush this tonight, or are we still kind of just waiting till we get to the farmhouse?
I strongly recommend we wait on that one. At least until we have more information to work with, and, well, because the farmhouse might take more of our time, and our captain doesn't seem like the patient type. It's just we get ourselves rested and prepare for, well, tomorrow.
Yeah. As long as that devil knife doesn't come out of the kitchen and start stabbing people.
No, I believe it is completely inanimate, but it seems to have a taste for the blood of the brother that helps the kitchens, that I totally remember the name of.
I believe his name
Have you
was...
tried picking it up?
No, I haven't touched the fucking thing.
Oh, that's right. You maged hand it, and it's still like flipped.
And it still tried to murder me.
It tried to murder the non-blood being.
I refuse to touch that thing.
Yes, I believe the person you were talking about is a brother Vento, or Vento.
Yeah, was he the weird guy? Does he have like a weird misshapen eye, or kind of looks a little bit
Yeah,
off?
he looks in two directions at the same time. But he's quite the chipper gentleman.
Like, as in he's bit in pieces and chipped right now, or?
Oh, well, currently, yes. He is being tended to by one of the sisters.
You know, now that I got my mind back.
Oh my god.
You think the kids would like a gumbo? Might be too spicy for them.
I'm sure we can make two batches, one of them with a bit more spice than the other.
Right, I'm gonna have to go crawfish.
Stop eating the potato skins right out of the oil. You'll burn yourself again.
They're so good though.
The cool ones are right next to them.
Oh, right.
Right, let's not exhaust ourselves.
Hope to God there's no other weird spiders just creeping around the rooms.
Yes, I suggest we all take a quick look around.
I guess can I roll a perception?
Go ahead.
I'm doing the same
Yeah,
thing too. Just making sure it's me. Of course not.
Alright. Wait, Miser. You alright, buddy? Alright, where's perception? Ah, shit, wow, no, I'm not alright either. Fuck, I double clicked
This
the
is my
data.
chance.
Jeebus is... Finally. Jeebus has 1.
With a 19, as you're moving around looking in the kitchen, you notice the faintest of this red, kind of glinting gossamer thread coming out of this crack in the dumbwaiter up to the ceiling.
I do. I don't wander around, go. So it just goes to the ceiling?
Yeah, like, have you ever seen like a cobweb where a spider kind of just moves across?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elliot, I believe your friend may have come from the basement.
This is starting to worry me a bit. What do you think, Kyle?
Blood magic is weird and often deadly. I wonder why specifically they'd be making blood spiders, if that, unless it's the only thing they know, or it's generally hard to track. This seems a little bit outside of my wheelhouse.
I have suspicion that it's more of a warning, and the familiar was probably sent to either warn or alert, I suppose, myself from a. There's a slight pause and an actual intake of breath as Elliot considers all possibilities. Looks out the window. I would suspect that perhaps there's a captive down there. Maybe. Or it could be someone that is more tied into the situation.
Check him about how thin is the thread?
Oh, it looks to be about spider silk.
Why would they choose to hide it as a spider? Alright. I've got nothing at the moment. So. Trying to think. Think it'd be alright if I went out for a walk right now, or should we really just call it?
I personally would say it's best we just rest and regain our strength, but if you truly feel the necessary need to take out for a walk, may I inquire to walk alongside you on this one as a security measure for any possible, well, let's just say xenophobic members.
Sure. Then I guess she'll kind of just walk out.
You'll also step out.
Is the door to the kitchen open?
Oh yeah, they're not locked.
Okay.
I did just see Sister Samantha pass by, heading towards the exit. Not sure where she's going, but just letting you know.
The silver-haired woman, yes?
Yes.
I think I may have heard her stepping up, walking around outside.
You did.
Well, this is their home. Can't be too.
Careful, yes. Especially when you have unknown
I
guests.
can't say callous. They live here. Good brother, I have a question. I'm noticing some strange fauna. Have you seen a silver and black spider before?
No.
Oh, all right. I thought it might be native to the island or something.
I mean, we got black spiders. You know, silver spiders. Definitely no black and silver spider. What's some black and red ones?
Any ones with the strange coloring to their webbing?
No, the spiders I seen, just regular cobweb.
All right. Must be the trick of the old senses then.
Where do we go from the stairs here?
It goes there. It goes over there, but we can't move. The walls prevent us from moving. Oh, we have been freed.
Good evening.
Good evening. Do you need anything?
Just taking a quick walk around.
Oh, be careful. They do lock the front doors at night.
I understand.
Okay, I'll just wave at Deckham as they're walking.
You see Degum standing at the stove frying potatoes.
I just give him a appreciative nod.
You see a knife that's stuck in the floor, and Andrew kind of walks over and like puts a bucket on it.
Wait, why is there a knife on the... Wait, what?
It's evil. If you try to pick it up, it will hurt you.
I walk over to it.
Oh, God.
The knife's like right here.
Okay.
Jacob's actually like at the corner of the stove, leaning over it. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't want to get within 5 feet of that fucking thing.
Oh, hello. More people here for the potato skins. I don't know if we got enough.
I'm not...
Man, we got enough.
Well, if you stop eating them all, maybe.
Unfortunately, as this is the player speaking, I don't have any more divine sense right now at this moment.
Could I look at,
I
like, this...
detected magic on it, and there's nothing magical about it. And, I mean,
That'll-
when I picked it up with the mage hand, it seemed incredibly unwieldy.
I wanna just sleight of hand the knife. See if I can pick it up without fucking jabbing myself 3 times over. May I?
Yeah, you're welcome to try and pick it up.
Wacha.
You pluck it right out, and for whatever reason, this knife, it feels fine to you.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Quick,
what
throw
is
it
it?
in the incinerator.
What does it look like?
It looks like a knife that, as you're holding it, you're like, this feel, it fits really well to you.
Yeah.
But for one, it's a left-handed knife
Yes, my weakness, left-handed people.
that had a bent handle,
God.
and it was clearly like a massive cleaver that someone has ground down to try and be a kitchen knife. And so it is all the blade, as you're looking at it, is just like all kinds of wonk and bent, and like whoever was grinding it couldn't see straight. So like halfway, like quarter of the way up, it's like suddenly like a quarter-inch thick, and then it thins out, and then it's like chunky again, and it's like someone misground it. Like the more you kind of heft it, you're like, this thing has like this weird center of gravity, like 2 inches from the tip, but not far enough from the back to be useful. And pretty much it's like a horrible freaking knife. Like it fits you, but it is horribly uncomfortable or dangerous.
Why would anyone want this, like, as a kitchen implement, let alone, and not use it for, like, field, like, adventuring stuff?
I don't know. It was here when I got here, actually. Think about it. It's draws behind one of the cupboards. Maybe that's why.
Huh.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to put unwieldy knife in my fucking inventory.
I believe that will be enough distraction at the moment. We'll be resuming our walk for now. We should be back within an hour, roughly, or so.
And now I'm an unwieldy knife. Like, I guess since that's kind of in my hand, as I kind of move it around, does it even feel natural, like, when it's kind of moving around in the air? Or does it feel like it kind of just goes against everything a knife should, as I'm kind of walking?
It's not it's not a magical thing or anything like that.
Oh,
It's
no,
just,
I wasn't
like,
trying to get a
balance.
magic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
the
just-
balance is way off for what type of knife it is. It's just, as you like move it, it's like, it feels like someone took a rapier, but then tried to make it a shamshear, so it's like all blade heavy, but the balance is meant to be in the back.
I'm gonna throw this at someone one day, and that's about all this is probably good for, because it will destroy my hand if I try to use it. Curious why that they even had it in a kitchen to begin with.
I'm more concerned with the fact that they had such a thing to begin with.
I mean, we could always assume the worst and then kind of work back from there.
Oh, that door doesn't open.
Deckham, you just hear in the back of your mind the equivalent of like a tongue getting stuck out as she takes away the knife.
I'm
Well, at
guessing.
least you saved the brother from some blood loss.
True. But whoever the hell made this thing, it definitely shouldn't have been in a kitchen to begin with.
I guess the door's closed, or
Might just
Oh,
be,
that one I guess you guys hadn't gone through yet.
the one door we hadn't opened. No. Never understood religious folk all that much.
I'm curious as to why you think so.
Well, sure you all believe in and get your powers from different gods or beliefs and the like, but I don't know. Don't you feel like you could do something of your own will rather than have someone's divine guidance?
It's not a matter of divine guidance or powers being granted. It's simply the matter of faith. There are those who.
Alright.
Oh.
I guess you could keep going on that while Kyle's like looking around.
Yeah. It was just,
Yeah.
because I'm about to make my way to the door. Main door. That's why I rolled that D4, even or odds. But, yeah, no, Elliot continues going. An example would be, or at least my thoughts of it.
Oh.
Ah. Well. I see. They went down into the inner sanctum, and I will honor my promise to not go there.
Does make me wonder if there's anyone watching that locked door for the time being.
I would humbly request not to, at least while we are still guests and we don't know the full story of everything right now. But returning back onto our conversation of faith, there are those who are able to stand on their own 2 feet without the necessity of, one could say, a spiritual balancer. Fate is usually, at least from my upbringing and growth, it is something to help fulfill or at least give one hope when they themselves are not able to find that hope on their own. Of course, there are those who get twisted by their, well, mindsets of things, or twisty doctrines that were meant to spiritually heal those that are wounded into, well,
Monsters?
I was going to say twisted abominations, but that is just also a fine thing as well to say. Is the door unlocked here?
No, it's barred. Like, full. You see this, decent 4x4 piece of wood that's been set across it.
Alright,
Like what kind of bard? Like a flute, a banjo?
alright, I'm gonna investigate it to make sure that there's no signs of possible sabotage or whatnot.
And you did, after a bit, as you were standing there talking, you guys did hear Sister Tabitha come in. She stopped for a moment, looked at you, and then went to the altar.
Yeah, well, I'm going to simply honor my promise and not,
Oh, not the inner sanctum, the altar.
E.
Oh.
I thought I just scrolled up. Yeah.
Okay. I just checked. Look over. And I guess I'll
Yeah,
just...
there is nothing here. Everything on this door looks exactly like it should.
Alright. I'll make my way over to her. And I'll just, again, still using the mental link, because I think the two of us are mostly talking mentally. Again, going with faith, that is simply the only thing that many people do have. Otherwise, if they cannot no longer believe in themselves or those or something for themselves, well, they start to decay from within.
To each their own, I guess.
I'm sure there were times when you had hoped that someone would come to help you, but when it didn't, you found the strength to find and save yourself.
No, I think I told you before. I didn't save myself in the end. My brother did.
But you had faith that someone would help you.
In all honesty, I don't even know what was going through my head at that point in my life. I really don't want to think about it too much right now.
And I will not pry. And ending the, or really stopping talking in telepathic mind, I'll approach to the Sister Tabitha and I'll say, good evening, Sister Tabitha.
Please, Lady Ezra, protect us.
I'm guessing she's praying at the
She
moment.
turns. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. We were just looking around and, well, just making sure that the security is held up. Curious, there was a strange... How would Declan place it as? A fauna? Then I look over to Kyle for confirmation. It's just Elliot trying to play dumb.
Pretty sure that's what wildlife is called, yeah.
Right. There seems to be a slight bit of a spider problem. Hopefully you don't mind if one of us actually take a leave of having it out of the window.
I'm not sure what you're meaning. I mean, we have the regular spiders that exist here, but they're not unusual.
Understood. Perhaps I'm just overreacting due to traveling on the road for so long. Otherwise, how fare you for this evening? Besides having to deal with unexpected guests and the like.
You'll forgive me for being less hospitable, but you are outsiders here, and we have our own problems here. Problems that some people don't seem to be interested in.
The beasts and the farm shed, I understand. And,
Well,
I'm also going to...
okay, wait.
Oh.
Sorry, what'd you say?
As I'm going to start inciting her as I add my next couple of sentences. Just to see what her reactions are, which is... There are those who use fate as the excuse to bludgeon their beliefs onto those others, while many others use it as a blind veil to hide behind obvious truths. But I suspect you and I are of the particular group that tries to help those as much as we can in whatever capacity we are able to. And I'll just roll this because I want to see what her reactions are to my words that I'm saying. I don't like those two 18s there.
If you are true about that, about wanting to help people, then there is something terribly wrong. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know who's at the bottom of it, but there is something terribly wrong on this island. The abbot and the dean, I think they found something they shouldn't have. And that's why they're missing now.
I see. By any chance, would any of them be capable of casting the familiar spell to send messages or send a messenger in some way or another? A sending spell or the like?
Well, I believe that the abbot could cast a spell to communicate long distances. I'm not aware of this familiar spell, other than through writings that I've read of wizards and witches, and those who would make pacts with devils or other powers.
Helmet.
I see. Well, such abilities do have, I suppose one could say, their benefits to the user depending on the user, but yes, I had a question about the familiar because in my particular room I encountered one could say a harmless prank, but had you ever once saw a black silver spider creature or a variant of it running about? That was why I asked about the spiders before.
Yes,
I'm going to insight.
about a month ago.
I'm going to just insight with how she looks when she says yes.
She looks like she's really trying, like she's thinking back, and she's like, yeah, okay, I did see something weird like that once.
Did it by any chance do anything weird or unusual?
Do you ever have that instinct with when you see a creature and it has a purpose?
Sometimes.
It's, you know, how it's not natural, it just seems driven. It's that's the only way I can put it, is it, I woke up one night and saw it. Crossed across the roof or ceiling of my bedroom and disappeared, but honestly, I thought it was a dream.
Well, that's a bit different from my experience. Did it leave any threads behind?
No, I don't recall it doing so.
Very well. Well, I suppose we will try to get our rest, since tomorrow morning my companions and I will be heading to the farm, hopefully before our There's a slight hesitation, but clearly of a, I don't want to call her captain, but might as well. Our captain collects us, whether we're willing or not. See if we can try and help out as much as we can before we're forced to make our departure. Is there anything else perhaps you can provide from your perspective of the farm situation?
Give me a D100.
Oh god, here we go. $30.
She looks around, explicitly looks over her shoulder past the giant statue of Ezra, towards the doors at the end of the thing, steps forward.
I'll look also, just to make sure to help her.
You don't see anything.
Okay.
She steps forward and whispers, "I haven't told anyone this. A few weeks back, the young boy from the village, the smoking one, that he's not from around here.
Yes, the
He
Richard.
spoke to Candace outside, touched her forehead, and she gave a different story from what I could hear than what she tells the sisters here.
Interesting. Mentally, using the telepathic link, Elias is going to simply add, I suppose we're going to pay Richard another visit. And hopefully...
Just a mental sigh.
It's just,
God
it's
damn
just,
it.
but both of you can feel a bit of a rage that's coming from Elliot, which is very similar to when he was worried that Sherry was almost killed.
Well, you remember what Richard said to us. Don't
Yes.
trust anyone.
Yes, which is why I like to know the full story of things. So, let's Tom, let's say anything else before she starts walking away, or
Excuse me, I need to get to the towers
is there anything of
and
importance?
do my duty.
Do you need assistance then?
I've said too much, please. Just... He looks uncomfortable and glances back at the doors.
I'm going to incite her glancing back. Is that full fear that I see, or is it something else?
Go ahead and insight.
Yeah. 13, and that's obviously midnight.
Whatever it is, she doesn't trust who's on the other side of that door. There's an uncertainty of if it's a problem or not, but it's that kind of like, I don't know, so I'm just going to be paranoid anyway.
Right. Well, let's not keep you from your duties then.
Thank you. Just... If you are here to help them, just don't say anything, please.
We'll do what we can. But I will say that we're not the type, or at least I am not the type to let injustices go unpunished. Or at least unchallenged. With that, he'll switch to the telepathic link. And I do hope Richard has a good reason for not including that he already spoke to Candace, or at least we should inquire what he learned from her.
Well, he did tell us that he was shown the door the minute he was entered. What he inquired afterwards is beyond us. rather he pushed a little too hard and didn't get anything relevant.
There are methods.
I have a plan to get into the basement with minimal trouble.
Go on.
I'm listening.
Well, I can see to the bottom floor, and it's within a range that I can cast my spells. And if I'm convincing enough, I could make it seem that I fell down.
Do you need some
Need help with...
assistance?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you need a distraction?
Well, mostly when you two start making your way back towards me, I will enact my little scene, just so you can maybe try to get your assistance into retrieving me.
Very well. Do you need any... I do have enough energies for one more spell incantation. Would you at least need one of those?
I will be using one of my own.
Very well. And
Oh, this is gonna go well.
he's making his way. Well, again,
At least, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, continue.
The very least, we're not being chased by a giant blob of flesh this time. We're just dealing with actual people, which is far, far worse.
That's far more dangerous indeed.
So, Moogle, as they kind of return, Deckham is just gonna go, "Oh no!" and try to knock over a barrel, and then Misty step to the basement.
Elliot.
Only a performance, I
Hold
want to
on.
say.
I was gonna say like Elliot was going to open the door and just say, Deckham, Brother Vando, how is the potato? And then of course, Deckham does his little trick. Hopefully, I give him advantage. Well,
Oh my
That's
god.
high enough.
Jesus Christ.
Hell, poof.
Deckham.
Help! I've fallen.
Can you get up?
Oh, yes.
Boy.
Oh,
Oh no.
he's at far ahead. Oh dear. I look over to Brother Vanto and I say, where does this lead?
Oh, that's the only way down into the things. Oh, yeah, he fell down here.
He fell down there, yes. Deckham, are you alright? And I shout really loud.
Oh, you all right, D-man?
Quite fine. Just landed on something I can't see. 'Cause I don't know where I am.
He may need some help. Is there any way we can go down there and try to help him back up?
I don't know what I mean, yeah, there is, but he ain't gonna be happy.
I will take the punishment for that then. I don't intend to leave any of my comrades behind or
I
anything.
will explain my own misgivings. Could you just at least tell me which direction I should head in?
Just, maybe just stay down. I mean, I use it every now and then, but I'm out too. Oh, shit. Ezra, forgive me for my sins. I didn't mean to cuss.
I'm sure Ezra's benevolence will excuse that particular moment of lapse. But we should try to go and retrieve our comrade now.
I be around the corner.
I was gonna say, through the mental link, since it goes for a fucking mile,
Here, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
she's gonna be like, "What do you see down there, Deckham?
Well, it looks like an ordinary storage facility.
Anything out of the ordinary?"
Well, haven't had a chance to ask.
God, please tell me what is down here.
What do I see, my lord?
You see a hell of a cellar. Big. There's a fair amount of stuff.
I'm
Great,
into
but
looking to follow that spider web that I saw.
You would have to roll me a perception.
Come on, Deckham. Oh,
Come on, Davis. Where's your rolls?
There's my notes with people's names. Alright, so I'm gonna move. You guys open the door?
Yes.
Yeah, if it's unlocked.
I mean, if it's
It is.
Then yeah, I guess we'll head in.
yeah. I just have my notes right now furiously.
What's the smell of this place as we're kind of heading down? Is it just like musty basement smell?
Just. Okay, sorry. Deckham, you see ahead of you an entryway here. You see a lot of shelves, a lot of barrels, a lot of boxes, crates, bags, produce, drying meats. You see a doorway here. And just to point it out, like, the rest of this is like stonework, like the rest of the abbey. You know, it's this old heavy stonework. This looks like someone punched a hole in and then had to build an arching doorway to support it. And then there's this wooden door that looks considerably heavier and well fit to this area.
oh, perfect. I think I found my exit.
And I think we found someone.
That's how you doing, guy.
Boosh.
Elliot relaxes and just looks over to the brother. I believe you are. Yes, Brother Vanto has allowed us to come down here with his permission to allow us to pick up one of our comrades who fell through the hole in the kitchen. Looks over to Kyle for confirmation of what the hell that hole was, but it's actually a dumbwaiter. But
Yeah. He fell down the dumbwaiter while trying to assist Brother Banto and kind of just tripped and fell. If you didn't hear the loud metal or the loud thud of his armor kind of just cracking the ground.
You will stay here. And he is this. I'll just show you this. He is this tall, half-elven man that is just. There is no humor to this elf, or half-elf.
oh wow, him and Elliot could probably share stories then of no humor. And Elliot would just say, "I insist if there's any necessary assistance."
I will let you know. No one is allowed down here because it is dangerous.
And our comrade is down there in dangerous spot.
So long as he has not gone through the back door, he is fine.
And if my comrade just happens to be,
The curious type.
yes,
Then I hope he has not gone too far, and we will pray for his soul.
Oh god.
You
Tekka,
pray
what
I
door
sh-
did you go through, by the way?
I found a doorway. It's rather large. I'm investigating. This is so fun.
Was it towards the back end of the room?
Yeah, why? How do you know that? Of course it is.
we're just talking.
Oh, great!
Elliot once again steps forward, but just says, "Please, my insistence in this part here."
It's quite heavy. It's not moving.
We can push it, Tekka.
It is locked.
Oh. Well, shit. Can't do anything about that.
Oh, still a wizard. I should have fucking things I can do.
You're looking for the knock? The one-time knock.
No, I don't have knock. I know I don't have knock.
Yo!
Deckham, are you alright?
Oh, yes.
Were we also just not told by the man to stay back?
Elliot, having already lost Aura, he's not going to lose another friend. A possibility.
You are able to walk. You will leave now, or your friend will drag you out of here.
Oh, I thought this was the exit.
Except
9.
There are 9 exits?
No, it is another pronunciation of no in another language.
Oh,
I do apologize. I'm not a linguist.
Neither am I, but I tend
Fully
to hear
programmed
enough.
with
You are lucky you have not entered that area. It is unsafe catacombs. Now out. I do not wish to scold you like the children.
After you, Deckham. And I'll take a quick look.
most likely older than I am.
I'll take a quick look.
Yeah.
And what I'm looking for is anything that might look like the, well, I was going to say anything that looked like the spider threads or whatnot.
So Tekko's been like spinning the lights around to try to like make little tiny shadows.
Well, if that was the case, then roll me another perception, Deckham.
Jeebus.
The RNG gods are on our favor.
Well, they're doing that, Moogle. Can I roll a perception check if there's anything that has to do kind of like some shifter experience stuff or anything of that nature on the floor or anything?
Sure.
Like, I know it's like kind of a shot in the dark, but considering what we found in the room. Or, yeah, what I found. Perception. 16.
Nope.
Yep, I figured.
Elliot, looking at the others, we'll just say out loud. Are you two going to start moving, or shall I start carrying you both out?
She won't move.
You can just push me,
Move
you know?
and take your floating balls with you.
Ah, I'm sorry. I can't see the talk.
Yes, that is one of his flaws, but thank you, brother.
Not a flaw. Most things can see in the dark, Elliot.
I am Brother Kriskov.
Thank you. Christoph, there we go. Just add that.
Find anything useful, Mendecum?
Nope, not at all. Waste of time. And
Oh.
spell slots.
I spelled that wrong. Christoph.
I mean, that door is incredibly intriguing, and well, now we know we can get down here without many issues.
The only problem is we have to get in the kitchen and then get down into the floor below.
I'll just add to Brother Christoph. Once again, you have my thanks and apologies for the mishap.
You watch him move to the foot of the stairs. You watch, as he very directly, you see him pull out a spool of wire and begin placing down another, what you guys would assume is the alarm spell, having Deckham said so.
Fuck me.
Aha, I was correct.
I see.
Yeah, that makes me wonder. If Deccan was able to get down here without setting it off, how did he not know?
Oh, well, I use teleportation. That usually doesn't set that kind of thing off.
Does it not?
I suspect that, using the telepathic link, I suspect that Brother pissed off is going to now probably make amends to that sort of security.
Yes, unfortunately, the large door was locked.
He mentioned that door was supposed to lock something out. So my suspicion is the back doors to whichever location is out that leads out to the Abbey.
Could also
You
lead
did
to
say
the-
catacombs.
Yeah. Which could also technically lead into the inner sanctum, which worries me.
Yes, Tabitha showed a nervousness toward looking in that direction with the other sisters and Mother Superior that went in. But not only that, but it seems like she also had an encounter of a black and silver spider. Also, she mentioned that it seems like our Richard, the boy that claims to be a man, had a chat with Candace and even touched her forehead when she gave him a whole different story than what we have received.
E-Man, you alright? You didn't break anything, did you?
Possibly the floor, but I'm fine.
Oh, she after older than me.
Yeah, I'm
Hello.
quite acting.
Ezra, forgive me. Man, I need to watch my tongue. I think it's about to keep me in the kitchen.
Surprised you haven't cut off your tongue on accident, in all honesty, considering. Looks at his hands.
Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't burned it off tonight with these potato skins.
Is he still licking the grease?
No, he's definitely in there, but he's running out, and he's just staring at the oil longingly, like, oh man.
Yes, oil, my one true love. We will be together again.
Ellie would add, I do hope you say something for the children, Brother Vanto. And it said with a lot of stern.
Potato go bad real quick. Like an hour. Eat it right away. They would peel ones, that's why we put them in dry.
I'm so tempted to click the intimidation part right now.
We about to fucking threaten a man over his potato skins?
No, say something for the kids.
I know. Well, he's about to threaten him over potato skins.
I know. I'm just thinking, it's the player that's amusing the idea.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I can wake up early and make more in the morning.
Right. We also need
Wait,
to go.
Wake up in your sense of the term.
Do you believe potato skins in the morning?
Yes.
As a player, I know. I love home fries. Home fries are fucking amazing, actually.
Yes. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just, I can just imagine Kyle asked that question. Both Elliot and Deckham on instinct say yes.
I'm sorry. We didn't get really a lot of potatoes where I was from.
I see. They're not too bad. Help with most of the
Good days.
hunger.
Well, then I do believe it is time for you two to get some rest. It is already quite early in the morning.
Yes, I will be using your room, Declan, since I don't trust the idea of another spider visit.
Ooh, a sleepover.
He'll make his way.
Making my way downtown.
Hello.
God damn it, every time. We're gonna do like we're gonna do a stealth mission one day, and Deckham's just gonna say hello to the person we're trying to
Hello.
God damn it, Davis.
I can see that happening.
Dude.
Hello there.
No, it's not doot doot, it's tong tong tong. Hello, tong tong tong.
I'm kind of wondering if that's the same thing similar to that of, I pause for a brief moment and just go, well, they think it's suspicious that... Plenty of thinking to do.
All right, the benefit over there. I'm going to do, my usual thing. He just
stands in the corner, and like, so if anybody actually like opens the door, I don't know which way it like goes, but it'll either hit him or they'll open it up to just Deckham fucking standing there.
Hello.
Alright. I'll just take off my armor, place the sword to the side, within arm's reach. While I was just thinking my last mental link of, I suspect we might be having to come back here if we don't successfully figure out what is going on.
I mean, as much as I want to get involved in all this, we do have priorities, or like a list at the moment.
Yes, I understand. We can't save everyone, but I am of the mindset to try.
Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna... And you just hear, like, the equivalent of, like, a dial tone from a mental link, and then she just kind of flops into bed.
Elliot tries to
Something
imagine.
wrong setting.
How do you turn this off?
You just,
You probably hear the sound of a poking, like someone trying to mess around with a telegram.
wait, is he trying to poke Deckham, or it is like a mental poking now?
Mental poking, yeah.
Oh, you could just end it. Like, Raw is literally, if I end it, or you could just disconnect yourself.
Alright, so if she's ending it, like, boop. Such a strange power.
If you'd like to make another call, please hang up and press 1 for more options.
Alright.
Please tell me.
Alright, Deckham. Roll me a perception.
$16?
About what you would think is about an hour before sunup. You hear someone that walks down the hallway and stops in front of Elliot's room.
Alright, I continue to listen. Do they enter the room?
No? All you're doing is listening, then you hear them after a short time begin walking.
As they begin walking, my door slowly opens and Deckham goes, "Oh, perfect. Time to get to the... Oh, hello." Assuming as I step out, somebody should be there.
Oh, alright. Actually, you probably would have crossed right as she walked by. Oh. Mr. Deckham, right?
Yes, Mother Superior. It's good to see you this morning. You were up, you're an early riser as well, I see.
I just completed nightly prayers to protect the town. Thank you.
Oh, well, I will not keep you for too long. You will have a good, morning's rest.
Sister Laura will be ready for you in the morning. Have a good rest as well.
Oh, I'm quite finished.
Did you shut the door behind you, or...?
Yeah. Anything in here?
No.
Do I think Elliot has rested enough yet, or is he still going to, need an hour or two?
They have pure trance, don't they?
No, we actually,
Depends on the sub race.
Yeah, which I'm basically human, so nope.
Full 8? Okay. Then
Yeah.
he still needs some.
I'll just
Alright.
ping
Actually,
this.
right about then would be about 6 hours, so, I mean, you can let him get the full 8, or you can let him...
No, he already told me he was running low on spell slots. So, Deckham actually has a pen and paper, so he writes down, find me in the kitchen as soon as you wake up.
Okay.
And he leaves it on the nightstand.
Yeah, Elliot looks still as a corpse too. So, because he doesn't need to breathe, he looks very still, as in someone in torpor.
I imagine, like, one of two things. You look over and Ellie's just, like, laid on top of the bed, like, full arms crossed across his chest, like, I'm totally not a vampire. Or, you know, the creepy thing where you turn around, you know, like, the first night you weren't used to it, because then you turned around and he's, like, hanging from the ceiling, like, sleeping upside down.
Fucking spider climbing.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time Elliot would have to use spider climb just to stick to a ceiling or wall to find a defensible position to sleep in.
Alright, so you're gonna go cook in the kitchen, Deckham?
Yep, I will go aid with breakfast. As I set
Alright.
the lid last night.
As dawn crack, the rooster crows.
And the weird alarms going off in the background.
Yeah, that's how the alarm spell works at times.
Burp, burp.
You want to be in the kitchen, Deckham?
Someone's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Someone's in the kitchen. Oh.
Hello.
Alright,
Man
let's-
totally looks. He's wiping the eyes from sleep from his eyes. He's making coffee. Oh, hey, D-Man. You drink coffee?
No, but I'm sure everybody else will love a cup. Do you have tea? I believe Elliot enjoys tea.
You would guess correctly.
Yeah, I think I got some tea here. Let me. Let's see, that's sister's thing. Nope, can't touch that. Oh, here's some. Yep. This is. I'm afraid it's the cheap stuff, but.
Oh, that's quite all right.
So yeah, you all get a long rest.
Okay. Elliot's going to actually, as he wakes up, puts his gear back on quickly. He's going to check the door and listen carefully to see if there's nobody outside.
No.
I'll just go roll perception just to be on the safe side. $16. And this will be a disadvantage stealth, but Elliot tries. I actually rolled really good for this one too.
The only person that heard you is the other person in the hallway. I imagine their passive is that high.
My passive that high? No, it's 14. One off. I haven't taken expertise in perception yet.
But
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing
Elliot has snuck up on Kyle. Okay.
Disgusting.
well, he's a dampier, so
Is he crawling on the ceiling?
no, he's just sliding out through the door after he read the note from Deckham. Holds a note up where Kyle can see it, and just says, "Morning,
Oh,
Kyle."
shit.
Yeah, just walks up to
Morning.
here. Pulls out the note. Seems like Deckham wants us to meet him at the kitchen.
Oh god. Am I gonna have to cook? Bring back the knife?
I do not know.
Actually, I don't. I hope they let me keep this. This thing's fun. And she's kind of just walking down.
Yeah, Elliot will follow along, and I think the thing is... Oh no, we can't go through the walls.
You clock down to a groggy morning, but the kids are rambunctious and clearly awake.
Morning,
Everybody
everyone.
seems to be having breakfast already.
You know, I'm surprised I haven't heard Deckham say hello like 20 times already. I guess he
No,
might have said them early in the morning.
Yes, I was gonna say, he is quite the type to focus heavily on the manners. Good morning, Sister Maribel, Sister Samantha, everyone.
Kyle just kind of got her hands in her pocket and making her way towards the kitchen.
Gives a nod to Sister Tabitha as he now notices as he gets more fully out of the way.
Hello.
God damn it. Every time. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I almost did that to someone at work. I said it in that fucking tone.
As you guys pass by Sister Laura, you can see she's got like a basket. Are you ready? Are you having breakfast?
After you, Kyle.
I just wanted something really to drink because we kind of are a bit of a tight schedule because it was the afternoon when we had to meet Cinder, right?
Roughly.
Yeah, sometime around noon.
What time is it now? Jacob, do you have a clock built into
6
your
a.m.
system?
It's about
Okay.
6 a.m.
Please tell me it's analog except for one part, it's like just digital for the second hand. I don't know why.
Elliot just looks over to Sister Laura. Is like, we
Elliot.
will. One moment, Deckham. Sister Laura, we'll be most likely eating on the go. We thank
Understood.
We thank you for the hospitality. And a moment, I think Elliot might have prepared a tea for me to drink.
I'm Deckham, but yes.
I Deck.
You alright there, buddy?
It's just one of those days. It's Monday. I blame Mondays.
When you're ready, I'll meet you by the front door. She says.
Thank you. Actually, I want to insight how she said she'll meet us by the front door, because it seemed like that sounded a little rough.
She wants to stab us by the front door, actually.
Yeah, she seems passive, not that dangerous. Anyway,
She seems a little flustered by you not wanting to have breakfast, but it's just a bit of an upset. Nothing major. She's not, angry or anything. She's just like, oh, that's okay.
again, he apologizes He sincerely apologizes, but he is being honest that we are on a time crunch with, as Kyle put it out. It's like, yes, we're in a time crunch. Right, Deckham. And he looked over to Brother Vanto. Brother Vanto, I hope you saved enough potato skins for the children.
It was going to go bad.
Sure they were. Don't worry, Elliot. I made another batch for the children already.
Good.
I'm sure you saw them snacking on them while they were eating their porridge.
I did not quite take a good look.
Actually, they was eating eggs and hash browns with potato skins. It was a little bit overkill. Well, they were enjoying the potato skins because of the seasoning.
They at least still have plenty of starch in their morning diet to burn off.
Yes. I am. He kind of taps his head. How many times a day can you think really hard?
I could do it. I could think really hard for a good while without doing anything, and then maybe 4 other times.
Perfect.
So here, I'll just post it real quick. So, where's it? Psychic Whispers. So basically, I get 1 for free every day for a set amount of hours, which I think is right now a D8. And then I have to start burning my psychic, psionic energy die, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta think hard all the time. You gotta win it.
Yes, you are an incredibly hard thinker. We all appreciate you for it.
We see your efforts there.
Thanks for getting rid of that crazy time. I think it's terrifying.
Yes, For your health, we will keep it.
What is? Oh dear, I see that one.
I didn't notice him trying to understand what we were saying.
I'm just gonna. I'm guessing Deckham offers some tea or whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah, Kyle gets coffee. Elliot gets tea.
He'll pour a little bit of her rum from the bottle in the coffee and just start stirring it. What? This is the only way to drink coffee.
Yes, but I asked that question for a reason.
Oh, hold on. Let me think really hard and let me roll my d8. I figured you did, but all right, we have 2 hours, at least for
Great.
the first one.
I don't know if she's made a stop at your door, Kyle, but Elliot, you did have a early morning visitor. The Sister Superior did take quite a long stop at your door this morning. She didn't leave any notes or anything, but she did stop there for about 15 seconds.
Sorry. Stop setting off the alarm for packing.
I know.
No, it happens. I need to do an update.
That being said, Allie's in deep thought about that.
As well, that spider did basically mention to run, and it knew me by name. As Elliot is taking a sip, and he'll say out loud, as so it doesn't look suspicious as us three are standing in the kitchen. Right?
Not talking.
Yeah. It's just, as he's taking a sip, Sister, Laura. I think I'm gonna get their names wrong. Was either Laura or Nora. Will meet us at the front door.
It is Laura.
Thank you. She seemed a bit flustered because I did mention we will probably be eating on our way out. Shall we start
Oh,
making
fine. Don't eat my cooking.
Well, we are on a
Walks
time
away.
schedule. Right. Brother Vento, you take care. And as we are now doing we now talk properly mentally.
Don't worry, brother.
You hear as you exit the door. Man, those three got some awkward silence going between them. I wonder which one slept with the other one last night. Oh, Ezra did.
She's kind of, before she walks out, she's like, I'll take the knife off your hands for the time being so someone doesn't get stabbed with it.
You take that devil knife and you take it far away from here.
Don't worry, I'll probably sell it when we get to where we're going. I'm pretty sure someone will have a use for it.
Thing only seeks blood and misery.
I don't know, this thing seems pretty nice, and she's just kind of like holding it out. Unwieldy.
Put it away. He picks up a bucket. He literally picks up a bucket and is like trying to shield himself.
Does
I'm
Kyle?
never gonna swing this thing, but I think it's a great fucking threat weapon. It's literally God's fucking curse on this earth.
You just hear the mental talk of Kyle. Are you any thoughts, manners, whatnot?
I honestly don't know right now. Also, sorry, I'm kind of in the middle of getting a bucket almost thrown at me. She's kind of jogging to catch up with you guys.
By the way, did Sister the Mother Superior made any particular sayings or whatnot of why she was up that late?
No, she just said she had finished the prayers for protecting the town last night and was heading to bed.
I see.
And I obviously knew that was a lie. No, most part of a lie. I'm sure she was expecting something from you in your room.
Yes, Sister Samantha, and Sister Laura that will be accompanying with today were entering the inner sanctum. Sister Tabitha seems to have shown a fear or paranoia towards them, so all three of us should be best be on our guard. As he says that, finishing up the tea,
we'll just place the finished and empty cup. I'm just gonna roll this to see if he a high or low for him. Hold on.
My God, Moogle, I think I found what the knife looks like. Sorry.
Right in the middle.
So he walks over to Sister Laura. Greetings, Sister Laura. Thank you for waiting. We'll be set to go at any moment now, whenever you're ready.
Alright.
Well, I'm taking the forest route.
Sounds good. I shall take point, and you just guide us to where we need to go. And
All right.
Elliot will mentally speak to both Kael and Deckham. Let's make sure she doesn't blast me in the back then if she's as strong as Sister Samantha.
Trust me, I think getting stabbed in the back is the least of our worries. I'm more worried about something far, far worse.
Such as?
Getting stabbed in the front or getting mentally fucked with.
Right. You know what? Yeah, I'll go with this too. Elliot, I guess as we're walking to the destination, Elliot will ask Sister Laura. I am curious, on our walkway here to the Abbey, we encountered a questionable youth that was smoking.
I am aware of who you speak of.
You are starting to sound like a robot, Moogle.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. The DM is gone. Free reign. Anarchy.
Is that what happened?
Not here, but here.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
it's connected.
Oh, there we go. That is
On my
weird.
own, like, you
Ah.
just said it, so okay, try.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the robo side. I don't
Does it
know.
still work bad?
Yeah, no, it's
getting
getting
better
better.
now.
Yeah.
Alright, let's, yeah, ow. That's a pretty bad connection speed, hold on a second.
Roger that.
We've been freed. Now we can kill her.
God.
Just kidding. Kyle's not that masochistic.
Sadistic.
I'm not masochistic. Sadistic, thank you.
No worries. You guys done it for me long enough that I have to...
Better?
Oh, no. It might just be a service outage, something going on, or weather.
I don't think it's weather because a lot of it's supposed to just be
Yeah.
warm.
Notices. Alright.
Just wait for it to change, like for location, but, yeah. We'll have to go with it now because I get any worse. Hello?
Yep, listening.
Hello.
Alright.
There we go. Now I'm hearing you better.
Alright.
So yeah, Elliot mentions about the youth, the smoking youth, which he is very curious about. Or at least you'll ask Sister Laura. I'm curious of your opinion about that youth. And the fuzzy one that's with him. He tries to find a proper word. You can even see the pause. Uh-oh.
I honestly don't know much about them. They did come to the Abbey, and Mother Superior said that they should not be allowed here.
besides their, I guess, behavioral patterns, was there any other reasons why?
Yes. Most uncouth, I believe is the term.
Let's see. True, they do come off as like that.
Then it,
Oh. I think we
Uh-oh.
lost. I think we lost Moogle again.
No.
not here.
Okay, there was just a robo
Your
return.
connection's still not doing well.
No, it's solid red and it's sitting like almost 3,000.
Oh
It's
my
a
god.
2,200.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I don't know how to. Like I said, there used to be a way to like change, but I don't. Crazy idea if we disconnect and then reconnect and might show it on the server.
Possible. We can wait.
No, we all disconnect.
Yeah. We
Okay, yeah, I got way better connection on this one.
We got better connection.
So CSRO's just died. Sorry, folks.
Oh no!
No. It
All right.
died like my will to live.
Yeah, you said. Wow. So it might be just the server itself. Huh. I'm gonna look into
Yeah, I
that.
That
think
was
so.
weird.
Like I said, there used to be a way to like change where the server was, like mid
You
conversation.
still can.
Oh,
It's just, I think it's just server lock though, where only Miser has access to it. Because we used
Probably.
to fuck with it all the time.
Yeah, we used to fuck with it all the time when we had the other Drake server.
Yeah.
alrighty.
Well, unfortunately, this one doesn't know how to mess with server regions, so I will have to look into that after session.
So yeah, she basically just says they're very uncouth. The Mother Superior barred them from coming back into the Abbey.
Wait, so they stepped into the Abbey.
No, they came to our doors and spoke to her, but my understanding was that he was very inappropriate with Miss Lawrence.
There's a slight tilt of the head there.
No wonder his name is Richard.
He didn't do anything to harm her, did he?
I was not present, and the Mother Superior didn't tell me what he did.
Well, if we have time, I may wish to ask, but time isn't exactly on our side at the moment. Now, I'm very curious as what. And, going back to the telepathic link, as Ellie is taking point wherever we're going to, just to make sure we're not dealing with any monsters or whatnot, you'll just telepathically speak to Kael and Deckham and just simply state, now I'm more curious as to what Sister, the Mother Superior, wanted with me on that particularly late morning. And what...
You know, they all seem... Oh, they're good.
And what Richard... Now he's adopting what Kael is saying.
I'm glad that I have influenced you.
Oh, trust me. If Ellie doesn't like somebody, he really makes it clear. Now I'm wondering what Richard had done to Candace, and I better not hear the whole bullshit of the greater good.
Well, there's a joke that he probably could have made, but I'm gonna hold my tongue on that one. But also, actually that's kind of funny now that considering his name's Richard. Not even gonna get into that, but for the people that know, you know.
Yes.
Oh my god. The thing is, one of the other sisters had looked at me kind of suspiciously, and it seems like, at least between the three of us, you and I seem to be the odd ones out, as if they're trying to keep an eye on a little bit more so than normal. Deckham, you're just kind of, I don't know. Maybe they don't see you as bad? Because Warforged, I guess? Or a man in armor?
If I remember correctly, it was actually Sister Laura who's accompanying us that's been looking at Kyle strangely.
I actually have forgotten off the top of my head.
It was in my nose. It was either, I'm pretty certain it was Sister Laura.
Laura's the one that looked at you weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just yesterday. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I also had
What
it
do
in
you
my
mean?
notes.
It's been 2 weeks since we last played. It wasn't yesterday.
In game it was.
But,
I know.
actually, considering that now that Kyle mentioned that, I'm just going to take a look at Sister Laura. Is she still looking at Kyle in any weird way or mannerisms that might be alarming for me to take?
Remember Deckham, or Elliot.
I'll let you roll, but it depends on what you want to roll for.
Since I'm looking for something key specific, I'm gonna go for
I'll
investigation.
put it this way: you can roll insights, investigation,
Yeah.
perception.
I'm going more specific on an investigation, which pray to the dice gods I roll well, because I don't have a high modifier on that. Oh wow.
Actually, Elliot, if anything, she's been paying more attention to you.
Is there something amiss, Sister Laura?
No, just my understanding is that you're Holy Knight. Consider it, I guess, professional interest.
Well, I'm interested in your professional interest then, or at least hearing word of it. Truth of the matter.
Well, I didn't get to get out much before we had to escape Laracon. So, outsiders such as yourselves that are unique are an interesting thing.
So I've been told. No, if it's any confidants, I suppose one could call it. I was raised in the Abbey myself.
I think you mean confidence, because confidant means someone you can entrust in. She'll say in your head.
Thank you, Kyle. I'll admit some words tend to step me in the wrong way. But, switching back to speaking out loud, yeah, it's gonna be funny. We're eventually gonna screw this up with the telepathic and talking mannerisms moments.
Yeah.
We're gonna-
This is one of those weird ones where it can bleed back and forth.
Yeah, so Elliot just adds, but considering that I had been raised at the throat hurts. At the the Broomsage Abbey, back where I'm from, I also was accepted into the Order of the Rose Cross of Truth, so we tend to seek truth over simply just taking words from everyone and baselessly blame others. But to get to the point of it, it was them accepting me, disregarding my heritage and the fact that I truly wanted to help others, that they ended up becoming my calling. Is that not the same for you?
I found solace in Ezra. Darkhan is a very dark place. I was not an orphan like you, but my family did slowly die off from various things. Lycanthropes, monsters, disease.
My condolences.
Thank you. But
Hopefully,
I am within the light of Ezra, so all is as it should be.
I suppose. Hopefully we can get to the bottom of this bestial pandemic and prevent further tragedies from happening.
Yes.
Alright, DM, take us to the farm shed. I'm pretty sure we've been walking and talking.
Yeah, after about an hour and a half, and one of those things you notice, there are birds, the ravens, the crows, other birds. There is mist, but it holds to the trees. It is not the mist itself as it holds, as you can tell, this is more of a morning dew kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's brisk. The lights cut through the clouds. After about an hour and a half of going down this barely a cart trail, and the woods are fairly dense. A lot of briars, things like that you would expect. It opens up. You see an area that has clearly been being used as a pasture, and nestled back in some trees. As Sister Laura guides you towards it. And I need some other music.
Oh dear God. I'm assuming the bloodstains are actually there.
Oh yeah, I see them. Oh wow, wait, that's a lot.
Yeah. You notice a door that seems to have been torn off its hinges. Elliot, it's old. Every now and then the morning breeze catches, and you smell old blood.
Oh, coagulated blood. Yep.
This is it.
Thank you, Sister Laura. And I will take points, see if we can make some sort of leeway.
Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is cast Detect Magic.
Set my health to full.
And I'm actually going to use my other sensing stuff right now, which, let me just bring that up. My first divine sense of the day. Where are you? Here we go. As I step past through the doors, but not through it, just enough to be in between, and nothing is blocking the way. I should really cut down that.
All right, you sense celestial blood.
Coming from her, I'm
To
guessing.
your right. Yes.
Mm.
She goes and sits down on a overturned log. You'll excuse me if I'm not constitution to be in there.
That's fine. If anything starts to approach you or the like, just let us know, shout something. We'll be at your side right away.
Thank
Steps in.
you. And I will mention the windows. They are all cracked, broken.
Is the glass in or outside? Oh.
Both. Some windows seem to go in, some windows seem to go out.
Alright. I'm more curious about the windows that have the glass broken inward. Or into the house. Which ones would those be?
That one there, this one here, and this one here that you see so far.
So that's gonna be a weird one. Can I roll to see if the patterns of the blood strands are like more uniform, or it's just kind of like someone just took the equivalent of a splash can and just kind of threw it all over the place?
Yeah, roll me an investigation or a nature or a medicine.
It'd be funnier if I was better at medicine, but I am not. That's a and
There's a lot of blood
actually
all over everything.
yeah.
Like you look up in the rafters and there's blood up there.
The hell?
Deckham, your detect magic has not detected anything.
Well, I don't see anything quite yet. Nothing magical currently, at least.
And the only thing I felt with my own senses is Sister Laura's celestial blood.
It seems like a lot of the blood isn't really uniform. It's more just kind of everywhere. So it was more wild in nature.
I'm just looking around for general clues of hair or claw marks, something that.
Yeah, there's gouges in the floor. The door that you see here going out the back of the kitchen is gouged. This wall has some kind of gouges along it. With a 14, you notice there's some moldy food that's on the table, like someone had dinner or a late snack or a late dinner. There's some moldy bread here. However, this pantry, other than a few things that may have spoiled, is pretty empty.
Wait, how empty? As in poor living style? As if they're only eating the bare minimum? Or.
As in, you see where dust marks have been moved from things, and someone may have taken everything out of here. Same with like you see garlic where you see like the remains of like garlic cloves that would be hanging, as if someone had collected them but did not take the time to untie them. You see some crinkled up bay leaves, but some of the other ones have been taken. That kind of thing.
Ellie, which is sad with the mental, at least the mental link. It seems like this place was also pilfered after, or perhaps before, this events happened here. But I'm suspecting after the incident, someone or somebody, multiple, may have taken advantage of stealing things here. I'm going to look
Could
on
have
the
been
back.
Do you think Richard could have stole something from here?
I wouldn't be surprised. Starts making his way.
As you go outside, you notice there are 4 piles of rocks that you can pretty quickly assume might be graves. Not too long dug.
Well, I see 4 graves here. Would one of you keep an eye on Sister Laura while I guess take a better look at the corpses?
Sure, I got it.
Yes, I can do that.
I guess I'll just look under the bed real quick then. Is there any scratch marks or blood under the bed?
Under?
So, yeah. I'm looking if it, like, just mainly staying the top or...
Okay, this is something I will give you here because it's very glaring.
Yeah.
The bed has been shunted across the floor.
Okay.
On, like, the rug, like, something moved it. You see where the lower runner on that side you're at has been cracked inward.
Uh-huh.
You see that there are claw marks on this night table that has literally the best understanding you could have is like somebody had like hit it and it spun and slammed against the wall. That's why the drawer is against it.
Huh. I guess I'll turn the night table around and try to open the drawer.
Yeah, I mean, there was enough force with it that it like there were little knobs and stuff that were actually shoved into the wood. As you open it, you see pretty generic stuff: airbrush, a Bible to Ezra.
Nothing in particular though. Like even like kind of just reading through the Bible real quick.
No, I mean there's a journal, and it's all generic stuff up until about 2 weeks, or 2 weeks ago, and it's like a half of it's like a log of like, oh yeah, so and so, we're thinking about going fishing next weekend because the weather will be nice and that kind of thing.
He said, I know this is gonna be weird, and you might not have the notes on it. What does it say like after the 2-week period?
Nothing. That's just where it ended.
Oh, okay. That's my bad. I was misunderstanding.
As in, like, this got left here about the time.
Okay, yeah, when the attack happened, yeah. Okay. I will keep a mental note of that, and for the time being, just put it back in the drawer.
Roll me a perception, though.
Oh, no. And give me 1 second, because I want to, just to give this a little bit more oomph. Where is it? I want to use one of my psionic dice just to add a little bit more, just in case. So it's a D8. Oh my god.
You see everything.
This kind of makes sense.
Alright,
Fucking
with
turned
that
on my
high of
purple
one-
eyes.
With that one, some things like suddenly stand out to you just because you've moved. One, there is. You could see where there was on top of this. There should have been like a box in the dust.
Yeah.
And like as you're looking around, there's no clothes.
Huh.
In fact, you notice that there's blood splattered that may have fallen on some clothes. And you see like the empty pattern of it. You see like one, but what you imagine then is you see this shirt and it's been thrown, or a dress or something, and you realize it's been thrown in the corner that would have fallen where this blood splatter would have hit. And with rolling that in high,
Hell yeah.
up in the rafters above where you imagine the most savage point of impact would be, you notice this white fuzz.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me. I think, Elliot, I found something then, and Deckham. I found more, fur from our friends.
Actually, it's not fur.
Oh. Well, I can't see it. Well, I can kind of see it, but you said fuzz.
From this distance, it's like 12 feet up.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell it's not fur.
Well, I found a white.
I'll be over in just a moment.
I'm
Right, I
currently.
might need to stand on your shoulders.
I could just climb up the walls
no.
if necessary.
Also, no. Page hand.
Elliot,
Yes.
that window is not broken, but it has been left open.
Oh, shit. Search with an M. Sorry.
Who are you messaging?
And as you look in, you see what looks like a young woman's room.
I didn't look in just yet. I was just waiting for the others to finish. As Elliot will just telepathically message him. This room is strangely unbroken. I'm right outside, so I don't know where you two are at.
I'm trying to convince Deckham to let me go on his shoulders, but then he just did the weird thing where he moves
No,
his
you
hand with another hand.
all of you have blood on your shoes. You're not touching me. That's disgusting.
Actually,
don't
this
even-
blood is old enough that it's not sticking to you.
Also, I don't wear shoes, Deckham, as she points at her bare feet.
Also, Deckham, I could just simply climb the walls without needing to.
The walls are covered with blood.
I know, which is why I'm not going to unless necessary. I had not even been
So-
in that section. However,
So what is it then? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
as I said, however, what is that fuzz thing you were referring to?
I don't know. It's on its way down.
It takes a little bit because it's stuck with blood,
Ew.
but you realize there's flesh attached to it. But as
good.
soon as you bring it down, you both recognize this as fleece, aka sheep wool,
Huh.
still attached to flesh.
Well, have you ever seen a carnivorous sheep before?
No.
Well, I don't think the sheep should be inside the home.
Or on the ceiling.
I'm more
So-
curious about the fact that this room here, which, if you can follow my thoughts or whatnot, this window has remained unbroken. And I will be investigating it.
Right.
It's
just
open.
a theory.
Like it's swinging open.
Uh,
So like, but it's not been, it's like those ones where you open in the middle.
okay.
And it's like two panes. So they're kind of like swing. It's kind of one swinging in the breeze a little bit, but and the other one's just kind of half open.
I mean, there's also this white shirt that doesn't look like it was trying to avoid blood.
Are you saying that evidence
Run
was
with me on this one.
very well?
Aw.
Is there any way we can figure out if all of this is just sheep's blood?
I would have to know the compass. Nope. No, not really. Unless
I
we
will
could,
give
like,
this. I will give this over to Elliot.
There is
Because of
definitely
his lineage.
yes.
Can.
There is a heavy heavy feeling of hesitation. You both feel it from Elliot. Right. I suppose I could guess if it's purely sheep. The problem is, as I told you before, I never drank the blood of humanoids. I had, however, on a few occasions when I was much younger, fed on animals. Sheep being one of them. My hesitation here is that since I lack knowledge, I don't want to suddenly lick the blood of a beast that could possibly turn into a sheep.
Damn were-sheep.
And Elliot is going to use his spider climb to climb through the window into this room just to get a better look at it.
It is a young girl's room. You see books, you see a dresser, you see a wardrobe.
I will take a look at the books, see if there's anything that is either missing or misplaced.
You see a chair jammed against the door.
I suspect this room belonged to young Candace, as he mentally speaks to the other two. And takes a chair out of the door.
The door swings open. There is blood out here. And you see handprints? Question mark? On the door and the walls. Claw marks.
If you can make your way more north, there is a handprints and claw marks upon this area here. Also bring the possible evidence of sheep here.
Deckham, you have it right?
Oh, I thought I gave it to you. I was going to touch the thing.
Oh, yeah. Still just kind of hold out the kind of sheep flesh, or flesh tag with wool.
You could just see the absolute disgust and abhorrentness as Elliot picks it up or takes it from you, but looks around first. I am so going to hate this.
Elliot, you know that this is just a chunk of sheep.
Chunk of what?
Of a sheep.
Oh yeah, but I'm actually sniffing it and then sniffing the blood stains around the area to see if there's anything similar or... God, you could clearly see that he really does not want to do this.
Roll me perception with advantage.
Advantage. Yeah. Double 21s.
Jesus Christ.
You go to sniff that, and suddenly there's this waft of, since you open that door, and it hits you, and you don't have to think about it, but at first it's almost overwhelming. But you're like, okay, yeah, there's definitely some sheep blood in here, and some pig, and at least a horse. And now that you've kind of done that, as you're looking around, you suddenly, it kind of hits you before, but there is a lot of blood. A lot. You've been in fights before.
Yes.
There's more blood than 4 people.
Deckham, Kyle says I have not stepped further beyond the house, or at least past Kyle's feet. How much blood is in this place?
An insane amount.
A lot.
May I dare say more than 4 people's worth of blood?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. We will keep this...
You two stay in there for a minute.
Because,
So, Deckham speaks up, talking to the sister. So what, her parents just didn't want her or something?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what.
So what, her parents just didn't want her or something? Did you pay them?
What?
Oh, come on now. It's not that hard to figure out. I mean, you did a terrible job covering it up.
most people who have been in any kind of fight know that there are probably several different types of animals' blood in there. Way more than 4 people could make. Her memories are obviously have been modified. Hell, I've even found a chunk of sheep. The clothes are just thrown about without any care in the world and splattered with blood.
Mr. Deckham, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Come now. Don't lie to me. We're leaving today anyway. Doesn't really matter. It's not like we could do anything. For our own curiosity. Why?
Mr. Deckham, I had nothing to do with any of this. And I don't know what you're insinuating.
I'm not insinuating anything. I've already figured out about half of the problems in this matter.
If you're finding out something that the abbot did not, then I am just it is just news to me as well, sir.
Well, sister, this, he gestures to the house, is a cover-up for something. None of that blood is human.
Well, I mean, I guess in one way that's a good thing, but I'm at a loss of words. I mean, but
It landed on a 2 for a second. I was so upset.
I was so scared too. I'm like, oh.
She's a loss for words because she doesn't know how to lie her way out of this one.
She could be truly in the
Genuine.
dark.
Yeah. True. She could just be a pawn of those two to know.
So, what do I get from her?
just a moment.
Oh no.
Remember,
Oh no.
remember, Ellie was constantly warning everyone she does have celestial blood in her.
That's what I'm worried about.
It is very tough. Almost to the point where you can't get a read. But there is a slight nervous twitch to her. But it is only through the fact that you don't blink that you notice it.
Ma'am, I would like to let you know I am programmed to root out deceit. Please. I'd rather not this. You all have been so kind to us. You take care of the children well. Please. Tell me the truth.
Just a moment. As she stands up, moves over to you. Mr. Deckham, I really don't like what you're insinuating.
I don't know what I'm insinuating. You obviously know something more. That is what I'm insinuating. You could be completely clear of all of this, but since you're not telling me anything, it just makes my suspicions grow. I need a wisdom save.
You...
Fuck, Elliott's not wondering. Oh.
Oh.
Does that pass?
No.
I have a thing.
We do have some inspiration for yeah.
No. Oh, wait, I can't use that too. You can spend 2 sorcery points to gain advantage on the check. That's gain advantage. I should have used that before. I thought it was an after thing. Fuck.
Well, you could burn that inspiration.
Try to conjure a success for failure. When you make an ability check that ability check. Shit.
Still have our once a day inspiration.
I'm gonna use it.
Or once a session, not once a day.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he would know if he was charmed.
The vents on Deckham's back open, and there's just this magical, the magic goes in him and it just shoots out the back. I now highly suggest you do not try that again.
Quick intervention second, but since Kyle has us mentally linked, do we feel that charm effect or Declan's resistance to it?
Declan isn't broadcasting anything to you guys right now.
Yeah, so technically no. It doesn't work like that. It's basically like imagine a receiver where you have to basically send back and forth. It won't process unless you actively send something.
Okay.
At least that's how I read it from Raw. I guess it's up to DM discretion, but
yeah, that's all they can Google. Cause Ravonloft be funky.
Yeah, no, if it doesn't telegraph it automatically, it's you don't feel anything yet.
All right. I guess while Declan's doing that quick little interrogation, did we find anything in Chandis's room? Should I roll the investigation for that, or?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
Alright.
And an insight.
Oh dear. $15 and $13.
This room looks like it really hasn't been touched. The marks on the doorway don't seem aggressive. And as you look, you do notice that in the dust, someone had exited this room. Someone small, like Candace. And someone larger had crawled in. Just from your general looking at things, you notice that inside the bedside table, there is this place that should be for a journal, but it's missing. You get a sense there's small trinkets, things that should be there, things that young women make, that aren't. Sentimental things.
Elliot will broadcast this information to, well, Kyle's close by, but he'll do it as well, and to Deckham of what he sees in the room very quickly. It's probably more toward emotions, and I suppose whatever he's seeing, he'll just quickly think it. But back to Deckham. Hopefully may give Deckham some more leverage to say seems like somebody had been in this room. It's been untouched. The door was open non-aggressively. There's been clear signs of items removed. And that's also sent to Deckham to give him some more insight of maybe what he's saying is leading more credence. There you go, buddy. More ammo.
Yeah, I'll need another save, Deckham.
Oh my god!
Taking advantage. Oh, ability check. Shit. It's all ability checks. I thought one of these was for saves.
If only you're immune to charm. I wish Warforges were.
You know what? Deckham, take my inspiration.
You have my ass.
16?
Sorry, it's a 17 as she looks you in the eyes and you watch as they go black. And you hear in your mind as she whispers it, I suggest you forget everything you think you know. And remember, I'm a nice, innocent person.
Absolutely.
I just want to check something here. Oh, that won't work. I'll just talk to Kyle normally. What do you think? That's basically
Well-
set up.
I've seen botched jobs from the Fang folk before in order to make it look like other people and throw others under the bus. Has that same kind of feeling to it. Plus, why would you need to put this much blood in a place?
Because when you see horrible things, you tend to not think clearly.
I want you both to roll me an investigation.
Sure.
At advantage now that you have what you're understanding. You both, like, as it kind of hits you, Kyle, you kind of turn and look. This blood is over claw marks. Like, it's not part of the claw marks. You know, it wasn't there beforehand. There's no blood that's been smeared into them. Whatever made some of these very weird claw marks, and that is something, too, you suddenly realize. Some of these are claw marks. Some of these are where someone took a sword or something and made claw marks.
I fit the unwieldy knife into one of the marks.
I was gonna suggest that too.
No, but it's when you suddenly realize that some of these, like, you know, someone took a sword or an axe and was, like, trying to make claw marks in, like, the corners or in the walls. But they're over, like, sometimes they're over these other, it's like a mishmash. You've never seen, it's like one hand is too big and the other hand is too small, or these claws are like 8-inch long and these claws are, you know, cat's claws or something. There's such weird, it seems just jointed, but then as you see that, you realize, like, oh no, these ones are made by a weapon because they're uniform. They you know, it's almost confusing because there's seriously something came through here. You know, like 12 bears or something, but each, you know, doing a different thing. But as you notice, like, at the same time, like that, when you notice it, like, if you look down at the floor, you realize, like, if something was, like, walking across there, one foot had claws, but the other didn't, kind of weirdness.
Knowing my background from the general mismatching of everything, were there weird hybrid shifters that kind of dabbled on the in-between of not fully going, but kind of being, like, failed, so to speak?
The experimental ones.
They are doing what I think they're doing.
Which
They're
would
fucking
you?
around with they're fucking around with shifters, and that's what ran through the wilds of this house. and they are trying to cover up any leads. Because these claw marks, some of them are actual claw marks that make sense, but some are sword marks a little bit too measured and proportioned oddly enough to make them unpredictable and, like, how do I put this? Like they're trying to hide what they're making while trying to make something at the same time.
Elliot, using a mental note or the mental link, just thinks of, all right, here's my current suspicion, but hopefully either of you two can fill the gaps for me.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
That's what?
Declan, you were,
Yes.
weren't you not interrogating Sister Nora?
Interrogating? Why would I interrogate her? She's nice.
She is currently
She's
in
on our side.
suspicion. Yes, you wish to speak with her. Did you not get any information from her?
Oh, we had a pleasant conversation.
Elliot immediately switches to normal talking. Kyle, I think we've been compromised.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, with an Insight 17, Deckham is being honest about having a pleasant conversation.
Oh yeah, I
That's
know
what he
Deckham.
believes.
I know Deckham doesn't lie about that, but like I'm trying to see is like I'm trying to find the weirdness in Deckham. I guess is because Deckham went from I don't trust anyone to oh yes, what a pleasant conversation.
Kyle,
You know what I mean?
I'm going to
It's a
climb up
shift
to
in
the
tone
roof
with me.
here. Would you mind checking on Deckham? Or,
Sure.
alright. I'll use my spider climb and climb up to the roof and make my way toward Deckham. This may have been a bit cowardly from Elliot's perspective, but he wants to see it from a higher vantage point of, well,
I'm gonna put you right there.
oh, wait, right here? Okay.
Just, no, I'm outside so you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll just head out and kind of just stretching.
But I'll continue my mental note, though. I suspect that, if you remember, we were told that the Darkon sect of the faith of Ezra were mostly xenophobic or had a very savage, inquisitory mindset. The Mother Superior, as well as, I believe, Sister Laura and Sister Samantha, came from Darkon. And they said that they had escaped. The real question is, what did they escape from? Did they escape from their own judgment of what they had been doing? The retribution of unjust torture and interrogation? Or did they truly, genuinely ran away from something that had scared them? As Kyle, you do recall that Sister Tabitha was quite paranoid and afraid of those three when they went to the inner sanctum.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about right now.
I'll be on top.
Alright. I guess I'll just kind of walk out, like I said, kind of just stretching and stuff. Yeah, I don't really see anything of too much significance in there, sadly. She'll look at the other two who are outside. I guess it's kind of a bit of a lost cause.
Sister Laura's kind of off a little bit from where she was sitting. She's kind of looking out across the pasture.
Something on your mind?
I will look in the direction of the pastor she's
Terrible
looking at.
shame.
What was?
What happened here?
And of course, that she couldn't find anything. We walked all the way here for nothing.
Yeah.
She just seems to be looking off in the distance.
I was looking in that same direction, see if there was anything there.
No.
Kyle put her hand on Oh, God. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Kyle will put her hand on my shoulder and be like, "Don't worry, Sister Laura. We'll, even though we aren't able to find anything here, we'll make sure whoever did this, whoever wronged these people, we'll make sure they pay for what they did. Especially to tear a child from her family and friends."
Yes, well, now that child is being looked after by all these nice nuns.
How long does suggestion last, by the way?
8 hours, and it's not
Oh my
concentration.
God!
Oh no, it's concentration.
Yeah, it is if you break the concentration, but
Yeah,
since we don't know the spell.
we do not.
She react at all to me putting my hand on her?
There was an obvious, like, you don't really need to insight it. She, at first, like, you definitely get that sense of, like, tension and, like, to jerk away from you of someone who has some kind of trauma.
I want to do something, but I know, I don't know if Kyle would force her hand this much, because I know he'll put me in the same boat as Deckham.
Are you ready to go back?
I believe Elliot is still looking around, but once he's finished, then we should be able to go.
I mean, I don't want to pressure you, but if you're needing to meet with your transportation, she kind of looks up. About hour and 45 minutes, I would estimate.
I'm gonna take a look.
Yeah, we better get a move on. Elliot!
As,
I'm gonna take one last scan of the roof. I want to see if there's any scratch marks or stuff that look like they were broken through the roof.
Nope.
Not even windows that were broken in or out through there.
No, there's no windows on the roof.
But no.
Sorry.
Roll me a perception,
Will do.
or a nature, or a survival.
I'll go with perception, just for a general idea what I'm looking for.
As you're looking through, and it just because you're looking for stuff specifically, you do notice that in a sort of angle to the way you guys came in, but more, how do I put this? If you had gone around the other side of the Abbey, like, and headed straight there, instead of the way that you guys had gone, you see what looks like the beginnings of a game trail, but it's mostly broken tree limbs, trampled brush,
Oh
and a
man.
path.
No hesitation here now. Sorry guys. Elliot found something. He's very stubborn. He's gonna shout from the rooftop and just ask to Sister Laura, where does this game path lead to?
I don't know. It could have been where the livestock ran off to.
Livestock. As in horse, pig, sheep.
Cattle? I'm not certain what the Lawrences had.
Well, I smell quite a lot of it inside, considering my nature.
oh no.
What do you think of it? As he looks, he's still standing on the top of the rooftop. He's looking right at Sister Laura.
Oh no. Remember,
Yeah,
remember,
well,
Elliot, don't hesitate.
I know.
She kind of tilts her head.
Actually, I will also add this too. All three do see the fact that Ellie does have his sword in his hand.
Oh no!
It's on the it's in a resting position, but he definitely climbed up there to make sure that there was no creatures or beasties walking around. But he's very curious.
She kind of tilts her head. Your condition?
I'm sure your Mother Superior may have already mentioned it, or Sister Samantha.
You're a knight?
Right, as I slide down from the roof to the ground. I'm gonna give her. I'm gonna see. So I should be now right here. And I'll just mentally say this as I'm going down. Kyle, is she playing dumb that she does not understand what exactly my nature is?
I'm going to assume yes, but I can't really tell considering she's... Is she turned around now?
Yeah, she's turned around to look at you.
I guess could I roll an insight since I'm literally in her fucking face? Talking.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why Elliot's asked, because he's too far to really look at her face.
I'm literally like, yes. No.
She is an emotionless wall.
Good, I love bitches like that.
Elliot again, sliding in. Yes, let's put it this way. I saw the graves outside for people, but there is far too much blood inside that house to simply fit for 4 people. And I depicted a small scent of a horse, so...
I will trust in your deduction. I don't know anything about that.
Is that so? Then we swear by the faith you follow so dearly of the lights of Ezra that all that you say afterwards from here on will be nothing but the truth, as I, who follows the path and the light of St. Cuthbert and the faith of the Rose Truth, that all that I say is, well, as truthful and only the truth.
She smiles softly.
Okay.
Our Lady, I swear it.
Swear by the name of Ezra, as I swear
Ezra,
by
I
the...
swear.
And by St. Cuthbert, I swear. I
cannot.
smelled...
Oh.
No.
She says she cannot swear by that.
No, he is swearing to St. Cuthbert. He's just basically saying, like, you swear by your God and I swear by my God that we are going to speak nothing but the truth. It is,
A lot of swearing going on.
Yes, and they haven't said the F word yet.
Kai, yeah.
We're of a different build than Brother Vanto. But, again, and I'm just gonna roll this to see just how wise Ellie's going to approach this, or he's going to be a bullheaded about it. Oh, well.
No hesitation. We
No,
go in.
Exactly.
You were told not to hesitate. You must not hesitate.
Oh, no. But this is just how he's going to approach it. He's not hesitating. He's just going to approach this like a literal rhino in a china shop. And he looks over to... This is just the player coughing. Looks over to Deckham. Deckham, do you still have that fuzzy thing that you found?
I have it.
Oh.
Kyle. Kyle, could you please pass me that evidence you found that you had me tested?
Sure. Hand you the sheepskin.
All right. Ellie takes it. He looks over straight at Sister Laurel unflinchingly. Considering as I told you, I was an orphan, born with particularities that normally would condemn me to death, but the Broom Sage Abbey, the abbess, decided to raise me, and through their faith of St. Cuthbert, look past my differences. The difference is that, and there's a moment of thinking about it, and then there is the slight notable points of his canines. Due to my nature, I have a severe necessity to drink blood. And thankfully, through St. Cuthbert's light and faith that I follow, I never once had to harm, or should I say feed on a human or humanoid in the near 80 years of my life. But, of course, due to my problems, I had to feed on a substance or substitute. And most of it were, as I mentioned before, cattle, animals. I detected sheep, pig, horse, but no humans. What really happened here? Or rather, what was the cause of both the abbot and the dean to disappear from here?
Tonight, I don't know. Honestly, this is the third time I've been here, and 2 times before, everyone was still alive.
I'm going to insight that, as I also add, yes, I just visited the untouched room of Miss Lawrence, and yet I detected someone larger entering in and not only disturbing the dust, but removing items in there that should be there. Damn, it was one roller coaster.
She just kind of... She nods. Again, I don't know anything about them. If what you say, and I'm not saying you don't know, clearly you are more skilled in this than I.
Oh, don't say that about yourself.
I'm not a doctor. I barely have any medical practice at all to understand anything. I'm not a butcher. I'm not... You're all far more capable of this than I am. I am just as surprised as you with these outcomes. Or that some burglar came in afterwards?
A burglar traveling through, looks around, a possible beast, man, or creature, infested woods, on an island that has minimum transportations in and out. I find it very suspicious, Sister Laura.
All I can say from my experience is desperate people do desperate things. Perhaps some villager came in after hearing and thought they would profit from it, this terrible event, and if what you say is true about the blood, all I know is that the abbot said he buried 4 bodies that were human, and what he could find of them.
I look over to Deckham and to Kyle. would you two assist me to make sure that the bodies were indeed human? This may be a
Assuming
bit,
the graves, that's a little morbid.
perhaps, but as one who follows Saint Cuthbert and the faith of the Rose Cross of Truth, we had to eliminate all fabricated possibilities and find only the truth of it. This shouldn't
I
take
don't have a shovel, sadly.
I do.
Oh yeah!
This shouldn't take no more
Finally,
than
that shovel is coming back.
this should not take no more than another 20, 30 minutes. I'm sure the captain can have a little bit of patience for that. And
She kind of looks taken aback a little. Are you sure you're willing to desecrate graves with this?
Yes, if it means that I can protect the future of those who will be impended or harmed by the darkness, then yes, I will do so. As you said, I am a holy knight, but that does not mean that I am kind. At times, I will have to dirty my hands to protect those that cannot defend themselves. And he's going to turn on his heel.
I'm afraid I'll have to excuse myself then. When you are done and have them reburied, I will give them rights, but lastly,
Before she goes, Kyle's gonna put her hand again on his shoulder and whisper, this time in, what is the, fucking, I forget what the, shifter language is called, Quarry?
Yes.
She's gonna say to him, Quarry, I do hope you enjoyed your little game you're playing.
she looks at you with the most puzzled look
Good.
of what? I mean, literally, she's like, I didn't catch that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it's, my own language, the shifter stuff that I learned from long ago. Saying I hope you have a nice trip, and do wish you safe tidings back on your way home.
I
Harold?
meant I would be over here, just
Oh.
waiting, because
I misunderstood that completely, ma'am. I am completely sorry.
I know,
was
some
assuming-
say weird things.
Well, there was my test. Alright. Deckham, come on, we need a shovel.
Oh, alright.
Fucking threaten her in a language I'm like, well, this is my test to see if she really knows.
There you are.
Elliot will take the, hold on, there's just a player typing, but Elliot will take the shovel. And he will make a slight prayer. St. Cuthbert, guide me to the truth with your light. And to those that are within, forgive me for my transgression. And I'm going to start digging very rapidly, a little roughly, but taking the rocks off and all that stuff and trying to see if I can find exactly human remains.
they're shallow. At least this one, the first one is. They're human remains.
Alright, what is the state of their bodies? Were they really torn apart, or they just got their throats slit or stabbed or something?
Roll me medicine or nature.
Does anyone have any proficiency in either of those, as Elliot says that out loud?
Let me look. No, I don't know what Deckham has because he said BRB.
Oh, he did. Oh, well, here we
You know
go.
what? Let's take a 5-minute because I don't.
Go. I got notes to catch up on writing.
I love how I just casually threaten her in Quarry. I'm like, alright, good. So that means she's technically not a shifter, meaning they're doing, which does confirm my suspicion at least.
Elliot has a suspicion which he didn't fully convey to Elliot, or I mean to Deckham and Kyle, but he will now switch to the telepathic thinking, and he'll just simply add, I suspect that our sisters ran off from Darkham because they had performed too many witch hunts, and I don't simply mean the spellcasters.
That's preposterous.
Well, they're at least not.
Deckham,
What?
my nature as a Dampier, and the fact that I do feed on blood, I do not smell a drop of human blood in that house.
Also,
I didn't know that.
She doesn't seem to know Quarry, so.
Yes.
I don't think she's a minor.
I
No,
smell.
not Quarry. Quario. Or Quar. God, I don't even know how to say that without fucking rolling my tongue over itself.
The Quarry.
Kohari, there we go.
Yeah, Quarry.
No, Kohari, it's shifter language, Deckham.
Oh. Oh, she can't possibly be a shifter.
No, but I saw a game trail, and I smelled in there horse, sheep, pig, more pigs than sheep, but
I could be feeding shifters.
that might be the possibility. However, Candace's room, not only was it left untouched, the door was not openly aggressive in any manner. And there were signs of someone else in there that had removed many things, such as a diary, effects. Possible there's a thief, but the fact that the Abbot and Dean showed up here and then they disappeared afterwards makes me question.
Or it's just as Sister Laura said. Somebody must have broken in and taken things that looked valuable and all of their food.
People would take. You consider garlic valuable?
Food is valuable, spices especially. You live on an island.
You do know that it's supposed to be a repellent for vampires because of our keen sense of smell.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. But
I thought that was just rubbish.
No, that's Elliot telling to Deckham. Deckham, I am a Dampier. I do feel somewhat of a admiration toward garlic at
I will
times.
put it in my notes for when I'm cooking then. No.
Only the smell. But
Alright, so I guess, Jeebus, do you have a proficiency in nature or medicine?
Nope.
By chance?
okay,
Well-
I'm rolling this blind then. Okay, so
Hold on, I got an inspiration to burn. Do it at advantage. I didn't burn mine yet.
okay. Damn, my wisdom and intelligence are both freaking 1 modifier. Oh well, here we go. Medicine. 17.
Hey!
You're not a doctor, but
I had hunted beasts before.
there are breaks and wounds. But something you notice about these bones. You smell that same blood that you smelt inside of the mixture of animals. You also smell older human blood, which is to say, wherever where these bodies, especially with these breaks and the way they are, the decomposition that's occurred, because the flesh is mangled, really mangled, skulls carved in, things like that, especially on this one. Your guess from the way this is looking, it feels wrong. Like when you beat up a zombie, kind of wrong.
So, just these two, right?
I only assumed you dug up one
Okay.
so far.
Elliot,
Yeah, the first body you dug up, you get that, like, and that's the thing about the undead. These wounds look like something you would leave on a zombie, where the blood is already, the body's already dead. it's broken apart. You know, there's no blood flow. And then someone dumped, you know, a bucket of blood on it.
I already smell animal blood on this already long since decayed corpse that is close to that of a zombie.
Well, it has been, okay, so it has been a few weeks, but you get that impression, like,
It's
just the injuries from, like, a fresh corpse, like a fresh zombie. This is like somebody who took a dead body and did something to it to make it look like it was tore up.
It's 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 an older corpse that is older than 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it may be around the same time, but it was definitely, the body was dead before it was torn apart. Especially with that weird cut mark across the spine at the neck area.
Ellie will look closer at that cut on the spine. Yes, this looks more like this body was already been dead before it's mutilated and blood. Probably horse blood poured all over it. He's gonna go to the next grave now.
Well, that's strange.
Trust me, I'm a dampier. I had to feed on animals when I was younger, so I couldn't control myself very well. Starts digging the next one. By the way, are the skulls intact entirely, or rather the skull and the jaw are fully intact, or are they fully caved in?
On that one, it looked like the skull's been crushed in.
Okay.
Especially the base.
Right.
It was a male. The second body that you pull apart, or that you dig up, female. This one is, yeah, it's. They died from the wounds they had, but they're not claw marks, but they are vicious enough to look like it.
Kyle, could you pass me that knife again?
Which one, the shitty knife?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I'll just hold it and hold it up to it because I don't trust anyone else with it, considering it's pretty much defingered multiple people already, or all attempted to.
Vicious cuts.
Actually, Elliot, make me a history.
Sure. Wasn't that studious of a student, it seems. 6.
No, you definitely are a great sword and cudgel master. So.
Yes, I tend to do big damage, not little.
But you do get enough to think this was a weapon, not a. And something bigger than a knife.
I'll just simply say to the sword mentally, I'm not sure if it would hear me, and I say, apologies, Sword of the Black Templar. Holds the blade outward, looks it over to the wounds, see if the wounds were done by a great sword.
No.
Close to it, maybe? Or something with a large slashing weapon?
Roll me another history.
I know, I'm really stretching. Hope I can get something.
You're thinking about it, You only saw it once. But this is like the kind of damage that happens with a flail, but not quite. Like a multi-headed flail.
But sword back, holds out his maul.
It's like,
Oh my god.
yes. Again, Elliot is very persistent on looking for the truth, even if it gets him in trouble.
It's just funny, like, oh yes, this one's wrong. Let me pull out my other weapon.
Just ask the other two as he is looking. Do these look like claw marks or wounds done by a beast or an animal to you?
Kyle, roll with advantage on history.
That's what I was afraid of. Uh, 18.
The more you look at them, the more your brain tries to completely ignore what that probably was. But you have seen what they call a spiked flail, or a hooked flail, which is really just a cat o' nine tail with spiked chains and hooks. Extremely painful, extremely damaging.
Gotta be shitting me. So that's
Vampires
a,
like to cause pain.
yeah. That's a nine-tail, or bleh. That's a, cat-tail flail. More or less.
Cattail flail.
It's a, it's a vampire torture weapon.
You would know what that is as soon as it's like said.
Yeah.
You've never used one or seen it. You would know. Elliot would know.
I would definitely know from the more zealot members of the Inquisition part of St. Cuthbert would want to use those.
Wait, are we? I think we found I think we found Richard's vampires, and I don't like where this is going.
Elliot will look at the remaining two graves, look at his two companions. Shall we risk opening up these other two graves, or do you think we have enough evidence? As he's already moving over, but it's clear what he's going to do, but he's
Evidence
open.
for what?
Deckham, so far two of these corpses have just shown that they were not killed by beasts or lichen creatures. Points to the first corpse. That one was clearly of dead before it was mutilated, and then animal blood was splashed upon it. This one here, female, similar, but apparently she was wounded not by claws, but by a torturous weapon device known as the cat's tail. It is a type of torturous flailing device that is more to inflict pain and bleed someone to death.
Well, that's quite awful, but I still have a hard time insinuating what you're trying to say.
We're about to find out, and I hope I'm wrong, but starts the next digging up the third grave.
I feel like
This was clearly intended to be the uncle.
intended.
Mostly because even though somebody tried, they got the feet or the legs go in one direction and the upper torso go in the other.
Oh, I forgot to ask, is the female skull intact?
No. But it's been crushed in from the side. And you can roll me an investigation.
Can I also make a wild guess as to what could have probably have done it? But I'll do it, investigation.
You will.
Okay. 12.
Your experience with combat, the first corpse was clearly bashed in with something, like a rock.
Or a
The
maul.
second one was crushed. The second one was crushed with one very slow movement. There's not the repeated strikes, it's just one. And the way that it's kind of held together is not the kind of explosive force of an impact.
So someone slowly crushed this woman's head. Probably a pressuring device. But if you notice, common trend.
Actually, as you realize, with the way that blood pools and stuff, it was a foot.
Or a heavy foot.
Can't believe
This one, the head's missing.
Can't believe someone finally let their fetish get the best of them.
Okay, hold on. Let me just write down third body. Uncle. Torn in half.
And you're only estimating that because it seems like this body was intended to look like it was torn in half.
Yeah, missing skull. How are the wounds in this body? As I point out to the other two, and then to this one, have you noticed a trend? The skulls are missing or been severely damaged to the point of not being able to use the Speak with Dead spell upon them.
Yeah.
You'll also notice that if there were any identifying marks, like hair color, stuff like that, it's so soaked with blood or not there. This one,
I'll roll medicine.
honestly, you can't tell if it was torn in half or not.
I'm going to place the shovel to the side for a brief moment, and I'm going to literally touch these bones or the remains of this uncle who got torn in half, as Candace said. And what I'm looking for are damage marks from weaponry, torture devices, or the fact that the last one is if these are actually matching bones. Because Elliot's running on the suspicion that these bodies are not supposed to be who they are, and this might just be as a wild guess, a cover-up stuff.
I don't think it's much of a wild guess anymore.
No, but we have no confirmation.
They are the same body. You know, these are the legs of this torso. But and I forgot to mention, but yeah, they all have clothes on them. The thing that you kind of notice though too is that the tear marks or the injuries don't seem to match. And they're just kind of tatters. Actually, you can't really tell what hurt this one. It's decomposed. Until you notice something that doesn't make any sense.
The smell.
Except for a paladin and a cleric.
Okay.
As you see what at first you think is a hole, until you realize it's something of a puncture wound that did necrotic damage.
Is it located by the neck?
Actually, it's through the chest.
I'm running on. Ellie will explain, or at least tell you what he sees on the body, and then to Kyle. Does this puncture wound by any chance be similar to the bullets that the ghosts we fought yesterday had?
Don't think.
Elliot, roll me a religion.
Sure. 'Cause the only other thing that's coming to my mind is a stake to the heart, but that's okay. Wait,
And Decim, you can roll me Arcana.
Woo!
Hey, boy, hey, buddy. You're a part of this conversation.
Yes, I know. Ellie is like kind of taking over a little bit. I apologize. But
No, that's
No,
not
this makes sense.
I am under a magic spell, so I don't know how I can try to Play that off.
As you both look at it, you both suddenly hit the conclusion. This is like a vampiric touch spell. You've seen these wounds before. You both have heard of it, and it's like, oh, wait, that's...
Ah, yes, the Judge of a Vampire.
Right.
Only that. No vampire touch for you.
And had the bad touch.
That was
You
the.
got the touch.
That was the third. That was the third body, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just gonna add that there so I don't.
Yes, I believe it's a spell even I can learn.
Right. Now to the final body. As again, Elliot probably has already more than kicked the hornet's nest. He probably did a football kick with this thing. Just,
No, I'm pretty sure Deckham did that 20 minutes ago. We're just waiting.
yeah. Elliot will now proceed to check this body here too.
You dig into this one. The other three were gruesome. The only way to describe this is if you took and grabbed a human by the feet and the head and wrung them out like a dish towel.
I take it this body is empty of blood.
No, it's just twisted and shattered in a way that is just absolutely questionable how it ended up this way. But in an interesting light, that is something you do notice. Other than the added blood, they do seem a bit empty of human blood.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me.
What about the head? Is the head still intact? Or the skull?
No. This would have been the final, what you assume was the aunt or the mother.
Right. I don't smell any human blood, or at least very little of it in this corpse here, but I do smell the animal blood.
Maybe they were beast people.
No, they smell like cannibal
Do
animals.
you still have to detect magic up? No, it would probably have been too long.
Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Elliot will ask Deckham, do you have any of your sensory abilities? I'm going to be using my other one just in the event now.
Oh, I mean, I can recast Detect Magic.
Thank you. And I will use my
Oh, alright then.
second divine sense just in case, as he's using his, and hopefully Deckham helps him out with the magic part of it, because what I'm gonna really find out is, because she said that they blessed it or all the other stuff she was saying, what Elliot's looking for with his divine sense, if this place really was consecrated, or was it really truly not?
Alright. Deckham, first of all, it's faint. But you, as you do this, you sense the faint remainders of illusion magic. Such as the one next, or the last one that you guys opened. You kind of see it, but it's gone now, where someone had changed the hair color.
There used to be an illusion on this corpse. A change of hair color for some reason.
And the next one seemed to have a tattoo.
And this one
had a what do people call them? Marking. Made by ink and needles.
That too?
Sure. But it's gestures to the part where it's supposed to be. It's not there.
Yes, I believe the uncle's supposed to have a tattoo.
On his neck, if I remember right.
Yes.
On the one of the other corpses, you get the impression that there was the crushed skull. The head was, or the face was not so crushed, but it's not the person who's there.
They changed the face on this one to replicate another. Whatever that skull used to look like.
In fact, you get a very, like, as you're looking at it, like, it's distorted and, you know, horrible, but you get that faint impression that it was meant to look very similar to what you would imagine, like, a relative of Candace would look like.
All of these bodies were changed for when Candace may have seen them. I can only assume.
I suspect they were also changed by the time the dean or abbot had seen them. What
That
about
might
the
be correct as well.
What about the final body, the one that's by Kyle?
Let me take a look.
Hair color again.
This is simple change of hair color.
And I believe Richard had gotten a different story from her when he placed or touched her in the forehead.
What if Richard knew that they were vampires and had threatened to out them?
It is a possibility.
Well, I would assume he wouldn't be alive at this point. But they're just nuns. I don't know
Well,
why you two have such a
During-
penchant for trying to put this on them.
I will add to this, Deckham, since you didn't see Sister Samantha, but she has the same abilities as I do as a paladin. But, just so you know,
Of course, they're holy people.
no, not quite, as I've taken on the tenets of the Conqueror. Though it is through my own
And
beliefs, so...
from what I've heard of the Ezra cult, they're on a mighty crusade, and the ones who've left that would still have their crusading abilities.
The question is their crusade righteous or self-righteous?
Well, I don't believe that's a question for me.
True. That's something I will ask when the time comes, and Elias is going to very calmly just rebury the graves and give them all a prayer of St. Cuthbert.
Alright.
Should I roll anything for that prayer before we take our leave?
No?
Okay.
Oh, and your divine sense.
Yes, my
I
divine
forgot,
sense.
almost forgot. These were damn well consecrated graves. As in someone who knew final rites, and before you dug them up, they were definitely put to rest in a way that would keep them from riots or anything like that.
Whoops.
Oops. Fucking whoops.
Well, as you are finished, I shall go retrieve Sister Laura so she can give them their final rites once again.
Alright, I will just give them the final rites and I'll burn a block of incense.
It's very dark in these woods. I can barely see my own hand in front of my face.
middle of the day, too, which is the weirdest thing.
Ah, sister, Elliot is finished with this gruesome task. I apologize about that.
I see. I don't want to know the details. It sounds such gruesome things.
Yes, it's hard to stomach, even if I don't have one.
I hate to be that person, but with detect magic up, wouldn't Deckham also detect suggestion on himself?
How would I see my own head?
I guess, but it's one of those weird things. It's technically you sense the presence of magic within you. It's a sense thing. It's not a sight thing.
I'm gonna leave that up to DM discretion.
Yeah.
I will state it this way because of how this spell works and the way the spell was worded. You sense it, you don't know where it came from, and you cannot act on it.
Perfect.
You sense a charm, but you're just like, oh yeah, that's been there forever. That's how your mind is like rationalizing.
That's funny as shit.
Happens.
Sometimes you kick over a cursed hornet's nest and then you're just constantly charmed by bees.
I'll have to reboot that later.
All right. If you are done with...
I'm just giving them a prayer from Saint Cuthberth and apologies for my actions. But I have found answers that I will need further investigation on them. They just move over here to get out of her way, but each of the graves do have a stick of incense burning.
Okay. Are you guys watching her, or...
Yes.
I might as well.
I have nothing better to do.
Also,
Considering
She is
none of
the
you
one
have
leading.
any idea how the funeral rites of Ezra go, she performs a funeral rite over each one.
yeah, Elliot will very gently pull Kyle back. You're standing on one of them.
And after about 20 minutes, she's done. Okay, I do wish to remind you, though, however, we will have to hurry.
We will.
Yes.
I know.
My captain must be fraught with anger at this point.
I will explain the situation. Hopefully she's a bit lenient over my...
Alright,
slight
do you guys
change
have
of
anything
mind.
else? Oh, sorry.
No.
Nope.
Elliot just paused to give that moment to really consider what his next words were. But he'll take his leave.
Alright. It's rather quiet as you head back. Sister Laura kind of hanging more to the back as you all rush. But she keeps up. Well, do you guys stop anywhere, or are you guys headed straight to the docks?
Probably heading straight to the docks because we're kind of.
I will keep an eye out to see if I can find our little Richard running around.
Roll me a D100.
Can I?
Go ahead.
I wish to. Well, never mind.
Oh, another 30.
God damn
Still
it.
hits. You, as you run past the tavern, you do see a familiar tabaxi.
Oh, fuck my life.
Just kind of sitting there, tail flicking, having a cigarette.
And is Sister Laura within distance?
She actually, bid you farewell and veered off at the crossroad to head towards the Abbey.
Right. I'm sure Elliot can hopefully persuade Syndra to not be so upset. And Elliot will just quickly take a swing by to the tavern, look around. I don't suppose Richard is up and about already, or on his own little
What the fuck
adventure.
is Richard?
Kyle?
Wait. Are you? Oh, right. The short one. She was bitching about. Yeah. Yeah. Uncle Van Richten's still here. Yeah.
Hello.
I don't suppose we can speak with him right now, or is he busy?
He kind of leans in, looks in the door. Has he come down yet? You heard? Yes, I have.
It came down, literally jumped off the building, and then landed on the ground.
No, he kind of
I know.
gets up from a table. But
Hello.
oh, it's you three.
Yes, us three. Curious, what story did Candace give you?
He looks up the street, down the street, over his shoulder.
I mean, just
That depends on.
just correct me if I'm wrong on what we just saw at the farmstead, but
A shit ton of animal blood.
well, besides that, the corpses were clearly been done by torture
The corpses
devices.
that were from the cemetery.
Mm-hmm. Torture devices, rain of blood, splattered with animal blood. I think I recognize something of a necrotic touch.
But
of
actually
the-
takes that back. 2 of the corpses are from the cemetery.
Yes, and I believe 2 of them have been tortured by intricate devices that could only belong to either the certain sects of Inquisition or, I believe, vampiric fanged torturers.
That must be who the nuns are trying to root out.
I am under a more darker suspicion that the nuns have some sort of consistent denial or looks right at Rickton.
Of course, he's short as he walks up to you and motions for you to kind of lean down.
Looks
Do you know the spell Modify Memory?
I have heard of it. However, I never really seen its usage. At least not until
Whoever
now.
keeps casting it on Candace is a real bitch. But Candace didn't see her family get torn apart. She saw monsters that were saying her name. And she ran because they were monsters and she's a child.
Explains how is it.
But, weirdly enough, suddenly she sees, you know, her uncle getting torn in half and all of this other terrible stuff, yeah?
Which is why it goes to the question of how is it a child's able to get through her location to the forest, through a game trail, if no doubt I can solve that, with monsters that can
Oh.
easily catch and move faster than mortal humans.
Because I don't think the monsters wanted to hurt her.
No, considering that the bloodstains, or at least the way the door was open, was far from aggressive. In fact, it was done in a way that looked like they were checking in on her. Also, her room was untouched, except for the fact that certain items were removed.
Yes, that wasn't me, but,
No, it was definitely a large build man. Which I
no,
would've-
I'm pretty sure it was a woman. About 5'6". Probably had blue hair.
Are you referring to? Thanks, a quick brief.
Her
moment.
mother.
Mhm.
Would be my assumption.
So is Candace actually a true human is what we should be looking at, or rather, the children?
As far as I can tell, they're all human, except for the half elf. But that
Yes.
is a grandfather thing. I don't even think you notice it unless you really paid attention to these ears.
Yes, and Deckham apparently caught the Mother Superior paying a visit to my room in the Abbey. Thankfully, I was elsewhere at the time.
All I know is there's something that stinks up there, and it ain't the outhouse.
Yes, I suspect it's going to be the catacombs are, I don't know, connected outside somehow to the game trail.
Anything else, dear?
But besides the fact that Sister Laura seemed very adamant about me digging up corpses, but that's usually how most of us would react.
Oh, I mean, you know, the Ezra sects that buries are dead do it with a consecrate, and are very particular about it. Granted, I'm not entirely sure how
What do you know
close
of-
to Ezra, Sister Laura, or the others are.
Yes, and what do you know of black and silver looking spiders that leave trail or a bloody thread trail that says "Run, Elliot"?
Well, it said run, Elliot, so I would assume you should probably run.
Yes, well,
Other than that, I would assume somewhere between an animal messenger, some kind
Familiar.
of blood magic. Familiar? Oh, I got an idea. Snowy says. Remember that one thing where the blood magic and they extended their consciousness? Oh, right, the slug. I guess it could be a spider. That was a pain in the ass to kill that one.
right. It seems like
Oh, sorry, they were in a crypt and very deep. They used that to get out and give themselves some, how did you put it? He got himself some sip.
I hate you.
continuing on the topic of the.
I'm about to bitch slap a young child.
Oh no, it was Snowy that said got himself some sip.
I'm about to bitch slap a tabaxi woman.
But
She
anyway,
might be into that.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. That's the worst part.
Elliot's just ignoring this whole thing, just trying to focus on the one particular path right now. Right. It seems like Sister Tabitha had also seen this black silver spider crawling about, but it didn't leave her any messages. So why me then? Or rather, what I should ask is, what is the significance of the Black Templar that it seems like Sister Laura, Sister Samantha, and apparently the Mother Superior seem to be keenly interested about? Does that be in any sort of, I don't know, connection to my predecessor who came here before?
I mean, that would make sense, yeah?
Yes, but
I mean, you're not here on this island just because, are you?
no. Also, kind of interesting that a lot of the skulls were crushed, almost as if to prevent a speak with death spell to be cast upon them.
I thought about that. But I think it was because there was more sadism involved than you think. Especially the ones that was crushed slowly.
Right.
Yeah, you're not the first one to dig up those bodies.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you and I are probably going to be the ones not wanted back at the Abbey anytime soon.
No, I doubt that. They hate me, but you, as you said, as he kind of reaches up, pats you on the shoulder as he steps past. They got an interest in you. Just like that woman as he points over his shoulder, and you see a block away, Syndra. She calls out, "If you weren't so fucking needed into the plan, I would have left your asses."
Hello.
Guys,
they
it's
get the
afternoon
fuck on the
already.
Okay.
Yes, greetings, Captain Cindergalos, and thank you for prioritizing our necessities to your plans. If you had left us, we would not begrudge you from that. We would just have to be focusing on dealing with the problem at hand. But
Oh, we're a part of everyone's plans, it seems. As Kyle just kind of says as she puts her hands in her pockets.
You must be
Starts
so
walking.
popular.
I truly do not wish to be in that particular sense, but
Oh, neither do I, but we're kind of just at the forefront of everything at this point.
So we're actually quite lucky, to be honest, because the lead that we were looking for is spot on. And the person we're looking for is in fact in Peridon, which is where we're headed. I'd like to get there first because I heard a very nasty rumor over the waves.
apparently some sort of 7-year, 7-week, 7-time killer running about. Yes, we also heard it from.
No.
Oh.
That pissant Argulis is how they did that too.
Oh,
Oh.
you've got to be shitting me.
Let us be off then.
Alright. Do you have any last moment things you want to do on the sub while you guys are traveling?
Nope.
I'd like to order like a 5-inch footlong, please. Wait, sorry, that's called a hero in some cultures, I think, or
Yeah,
in
this
some
is
places. So
called a
that
hero.
joke might be missed. by
Right.
some.
So,
Also, the
which is it? Is it mayo, meat, then cheese? As the undead guys like trying to make it.
What I imagine is like he's doing that, but he's literally just like grabbing like some fucking algae or something off the side of the stump.
Well, you're pretty
Anyway.
sure it's the he pulls some mold off of something, and you're like, that's not lettuce. Scream. Granted, I can't taste the damn thing anymore.
This is why I don't let the dead make my food.
Neither can
Hey, his tongue really doesn't work. As you see his skull, and he's got like a
To
tongue.
get him a new one.
He's got this tongue that's just like lolling out. It's like it's just kind of stapled to him.
Just out of,
Oh no, yeah, that's our problem. That's our fault.
just out of curiosity, how long has it been until we get to?
Oh, that would be a thing. Yeah, about halfway through the journey, somebody's spell kicks off.
What the hell?
Oh, hello.
So are you back to your senses?
Jacob, it's just algae. As she's like rubbing algae on his face.
No! Pink-haired witch cast a spell on me.
Oh, yeah, she's probably a vampire.
And neither of you decided to, hey, Deckham,
We did.
get a
Multiple
spell on me.
times.
I
We
unfortunately
Jacob,
do not have
look,
the
she shows her hands. Do you see any magic coming out of these?
He holds up his hands with a lot of magic.
Do you see these? Maybe I could have fucking done something.
I apologize,
We tried. You
Declan.
just didn't want to believe it.
Declan, again, I apologize. I do not have that knowledge of the Arcana as well as you, or perhaps Sindragalis, in more so than her does. But I did mention that
Bloody
she.
hell.
I did mention she had celestial blood, which was probably the part that kept me off guard of her. I didn't detect any. There's a pause, and then a sudden look of realization, like, fucking hell, of all things, of the 7 goddamn assholes.
Always fucking vampires. Why?
I suspect that.
Well, her eyes turned black when she cast a spell on me.
Did they?
Sorry,
Elliot.
what?
Roll me a history. Or religion.
Yeah. Religion.
Religion!
19.
Oh my god.
You have heard of Ozamar. And you have heard of fallen Ozamar.
Okay.
And that would be a weird winky dink about the eyes turning black.
Deckham, you said her eyes turned black when she looked at you, yes?
Well, yes, when she cast her higher tier magic. When she cast lower tier magic and I got out of it, she, changed in color.
I was a fool. I was falling onto the... I was complacent with my divine sense, but there is a high chance that she is a fallen Aasimar.
No, I shouldn't have tried to interrogate her by myself.
Indeed.
Hey,
Since-
what now?
Oh, I was trying to get her to tell us the truth. After we figured everything out, I just went out to go talk to her, because, well, usually I'm pretty damn persuasive. Fortunately, today she was a bit more stubborn than I was.
Yes, it was my own fault for not coming along with, since I decided to keep investigating and provide you ammunition to speak with her.
I got that, but what's a fallen Aasimar?
So, do you know the beings, or rather the holy bloodline, angels that mingle with humans that create eventually a bloodline of humans that have higher divinity?
No.
Okay.
Considering most of them don't want boats, and
Well.
probably didn't come to my neck of the woods.
Then let's look at it this way. As you know that I am a half vampire, yes?
Yeah.
Alright, now, continue boiling down the bloodline of, instead of being a half vampire, perhaps a quarter vampire, or 1/16 of a vampire. Now imagine that vampire bloodline actually being something from the angels, or the holy messengers of the faith in gods and whatnot.
Okay.
I'm
You're like-
gonna insight to see if she's actually understanding, because Elliot's being patient about it, but he wants to make sure he's
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Because I don't know entirely about Awu.
It's
But I would imagine that there might be legends of, like, Demi Glasskin.
maybe the thing is,
Or it'd
Kyle
be like, I guess, I think the way she would know it would be like the prima donnas.
the thing
Prismarines.
is, a lot of the vampires tend to keep to themselves and are generally very racist. So they probably maybe there was like a stray Aasimar that would end up on like the vacation side, but it's not like
Well,
extremely
I'm not saying you
common.
would have met one. It would
Yeah.
be like, stories your parents told you.
Yeah, so it is. I will say it is common enough.
I
but
do.
it's not
I actually,
like something.
a thought came to mind. If you don't mind me cutting in for a second.
Go ahead.
Elliot pauses, thinks really hard, and goes, "Do you know what a tiefling is?"
Oh, 100%.
So an Aasimar is basically the opposite of a tiefling, except instead of having the devil or infernal blood in their veins, they have the angelic or divine powers in their veins.
Okay, so we just mad an asshole an asshole anti-tiefling. Got it.
More like a anti-tiefling that has actually fallen to become something similar to the tiefling. In a sense, a fallen angel. Devils, but...
You see one skeleton lean out. I think that's rather racist. You see
Unfortunately,
his horn skull.
I do
You're
apologize.
dead. I don't think you have any right to talk.
I was a human. I was alive once.
Elliot just looks over to the bone skeleton tiefling and just says, "I do sincerely apologize. I am trying to educate this one here about what is an Aasimar."
I
Oh.
know, but it's very inappropriate to use stereotypes to determine about us and our
my
bloodline. It continues to propagate the racist tendencies of things. Don't get me wrong, I've met plenty of Aasimar myself, and they can be right pricks. But, and I'm not stating that a lot of tieflings can't be right fixed either, but it does propagate a continuing problem that causes racism against my entire people.
Alright, now that we have the social justice skeleton done talking.
Deku puts a hand on the skeleton's shoulder.
As
I
a-
understand completely.
as does Elliot. I do apologize.
Just because we're called Warforged does not mean we are all built for war.
Do you not have a mode though that's literally built for war? He looks at Deku.
I may be on the larger end of the spectrum.
Elliot
There's
just
several
adds.
friends who are literally just meant to be butlers.
Elliot just adds of yes, and us Dampier are not going to simply follow every single sins or particular mindsets of our vampiric forebears.
Oh god, I hope not.
Please, I hope not either.
How are we looking on getting to Paradox? After we had this very great heart-to-heart and then
Well,
literal racism.
Elliot will do his best to enlighten Kyle about what a fallen Azamar is, which, in the layman's terms...
I think, like, she gets a general idea now.
Oh, but he's gonna keep trying until you literally say, like, okay, enough, I know what it is.
No. Like, she will go to the other side of the ship and prevent you from talking to her.
Depending on
The
how...
submarine.
Depending on how truthful you are of understanding what Elliot is saying, he will persist.
Jesus Christ.
This is one of his quirks. He definitely will pursue something until it's done. But yeah. You'll probably also
Anything else?
Just ask Indra. All right, who was the? Would you mind telling us about the information of Margula being there?
Yeah. One of my scrying crows came across it, saw his ship. Fucker.
I was under the impression that as a Dark Lord or whatnot, he cannot enter these other places.
Oh, it's an interesting thing, because technically I'm considered a Dark Lord and a Dark Power at the same time. And this is my domain. She motions to the whole of this up.
So a place can invade another place then.
Well, technically we're not invading. And certain things are allowed, but... as such, like the Isle of Cicero, I'm rather limited in how far inland I could go.
I see.
And what I could do. So I could go on land, but the moment I start trying to fuck with whatever powers exist there, probably not going to end well for that.
And you need us to collect what you need on this place.
Indeed. Because you can go places like that, and my crew can.
Very well. What are we looking for?
Besides, I think you have more interest in getting, some of his crew is on there. I can't actively attack them myself, but...
You can take credit for it, yes.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
It's just Elliot being a bit of a smartass, that's all.
Jeez, I was hoping it was one of your favorites. You'd have fun and kick the shit out of it. You said Margulis and middle figure. I don't know.
That too.
Needless to say, my understanding from what we discovered is that you're going to have to go to Dragon's Eye, a region, as she kind of pulls out a map that's weirdly a lot more detailed than some you've seen. As you can see here, this is the city, this is the docks, and you'll be headed over here to meet with an interesting individual named Desperado. He has information that we need to acquire.
Why is he desperate, though?
I'm sorry, I had to do the low hanging fruit.
If I had to blink, I would.
I know. Not having facial features is such an annoyance sometimes, isn't it?
Kyle just looks at Syndra and is like, now you know what I deal with on a day-to-day. Like that look of, please help me.
And yet you see this, like, look that just says, no, I've dealt with it far more than you have.
Meanwhile, another...
See that? I wish I could do that.
Do what?
Points at Syndra's face. That.
Be a woman? I'm sorry?
Okay, so Dragon's Eye. Yeah, wow, it's been such a long time I looked at this map.
Oh no, that made me laugh way too hard at that shit.
So if you guys don't have anything else to do while on the ship,
No,
Nah.
just getting our objectives and landing in.
as you approach, there are sirens as you realize that you are rising to the surface. You are invited to go out on the deck as you see a city. You've all come from cities, Deckham. This one is a little bit more close to what you expect. It's stone, it's brick, it's industrialized. It's also very dark.
Oh, civilization.
You see a lot of lamps, some brighter than others with a white glow. You see the burning of gas, lamps, candles, and some. It still seems to be developing.
This place
Or at least
would.
it's on its way to be something like civilization.
It's close to night. You're in the evening, that twilight as the sun begins to go down. As you pull up to a dock, you see various types of ships, some similar to what you're in, some of designs you're not used to. And then there's one that you recognize as you see on the deck a number of familiar, but almost too long ago to be remembered. Of Captain Francis Margulia. He seems to be waving off a group of people, including, specifically, this friendly gent.
The man needs a dental insurance.
Well, I don't suppose we can at least start chopping off the excess before we deal with the snake's head.
Sindri looks at you. They're already on the dock, which means you probably need to catch up with them before they get to Desperado.
Well, let's begin running then.
Thankfully, that's something I'm good at.
We start moving.
I'll
Yep.
do my best to keep up.
All right. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight, being that it is 9 o'clock. So I am Gothmogul, the DM for tonight. Thank you for joining me. You can find my commission information at chaosandparadox.card.co. I'm going to pass over to next Monday's DM, Jeebus the Dingus.
Hello, I am Jeebus. our lovely group of the Drakettes will be entering a rather large dungeon starting next week, and will most likely be going on for a couple weeks after that, trying to find the heart of the mountain. But we'll leave that for next Monday. I'll throw it over to Sunday's GM, Miser.
Hello, everyone. I am Miser Mark. I play Elliot. I just play Elliot, the Dampier Paladin. I also DM the Sunday game Into the Wildlands. You can find my content on both YouTube and Twitch of MiserMark2010 and everything I'm collaborating with in both Jeebus Dingus and Transpace Mariner's YouTube and Twitch accounts. Otherwise, I'll pass it over to our Tuesday DM, who will have a nice upcoming one-shot next week. Mariner.
Yep. Hello, I am Transpace Mariner, and as Master had said, I'll be running a one-shot to kind of... What I'm trying to do now is split up the arcs a little bit with some one-shots, give a little bit of trauma, then one-shot to kind of split up everything. Also to kind of celebrate, since it's around my birthday and Miser's, so have a little fun with that as well. But yeah, and you can find me on DM Mariner on Twitter and Transpace Mariner on Twitch, and yeah, that's all I got.
I will just add a little bit that this coming Into the Wildlands, I might be a little bit inebriated, as Mariner mentioned. My birthday will be around that weekend, so that'll be very interesting.
We're gonna get too many messages from the book where it just kills us. Casts fireball on us.
There is a possibility.
Did Mariner go?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.